Hello, ThreadTalk family. Happy Tuesday. How was your weekend? How was your Monday? Hope your Tuesday is going great.
Why trying to be so professional?
I don't know.
What's with your intro?
I'm trying to stay unique.
Oh, now you want to be
saying,
unique.
No, I feel like I always say the same stuff. Hello. Welcome back to ThreadTalk Podcast. I'm your host, Teresa.
That's literally what you said, though. That's basically what you
I tried to say it in different words.
You said the same thing.
It's hard, okay?
Very difficult.
Today, we are talking about some Delulu people.
Just a bit delusional.
Just a bit delusional. We got some pretty crazy Delulu stories.
This is going to be a fun episode.
I think so.
It's going to be a lot of laughing.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Most of my stories will have you laughing.
Okay,
Even
good.
if you're enraged, you're kind of laughing when you're enraged because, well, they're delusional.
Perfect. I don't know about mine. I mean, we'll see.
I've got 7.
I have 8.
You have 8.
I do.
Damn. You guys
I have an update to one of our previous stories.
Oh, yes. Well, make sure that's your last story. On the previous episode, there was the one with the dad not buying his daughter a new car. The one where I had a strong opinion, weird take on that most people didn't agree with.
Yes, that was not the last episode, though. That's going to be episodes, 4 episodes.
What are you talking about?
By the time, because this is releasing December 10th, and that episode just released.
True. Oh, yeah, that's not the one I just edited.
Yeah.
So that was 2 episodes ago.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have the mom's POV of that one.
Exactly.
So thank you to everybody who commented that said that there was another POV to that story. So
yeah, and I would just like to reiterate, a lot of people gave me some slack or hate on that one. Wasn't trying
rightfully
to
so.
Well,
honestly.
I wasn't trying to say that she shouldn't have whatever. I'm just trying to say that at the end of the day, if you want to protect your items, don't lend them to people. And don't lend them to people who can't afford to replace them.
So you still said the same shit, bro. All right. Anyways, let's just get into it. We could talk about that story at the end.
My bad.
Can I go first?
No, I'm going first.
Okay,
I veto it. You always go first.
Okay, fine.
I have a good, short, quick one.
All right.
Let's go. Okay, so this one's coming from a new subreddit. I found one that's called r/advice.
Okay.
And it actually has 1.1 million members.
I was going to say it's not new. It's new to us.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We haven't read any from this subreddit before. Mm-hmm. I recently discovered it. I was going through. This one was posted 3 days ago. All right. 10,000 upvotes.
Whoa.
My husband won't wash his hands after using the bathroom at home.
No.
Well, the title says it all. I've put up with a lot of my husband's little quirks. But it all came to a head yesterday when my husband dipped his finger into my freshly cooked mashed potatoes after going number 2.
No!
This would not have been a problem if my husband would just wash his meat beaters after going to the bathroom. My husband seems to think he only has to wash his hands if he uses a public restroom. He is trying to gaslight me into believing this is completely normal and that I am the crazy one for washing at home. Please give me some advice on how to approach this with him in a constructive way. This isn't normal, right? We all wash our hands at home too, right? P.S. I did not get to enjoy my beautiful mashed potatoes and have been in a sour mood ever since.
This is divorce worthy for me. We're starting off strong with the D word. My advice is show him this post. Show him this podcast, actually. I'm sure you showed him the results of all of the commenters.
So
you must have.
Yeah. So top comment, that's fucking wild. I'm sorry. ? And then OP replies, totally not normal, right? And then another person replies and says, he absolutely 100% has fecal matter on his hands. I'm really glad you decided not to eat them. That is disgusting. Here is a link. Toilet paper is not a barrier between your hand and the feces, even a little bit. It is just to remove the waste from your back end. You absolutely every time get it on your hands. For the love of God, find a way to force them to wash. Then disinfect your house because it is everywhere. That is disgusting.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine it everywhere in the house, literally. Why'd you start off with this one?
The second top comment. Next time he's making food, shove your hand up your ass and then into his dish. Then quote, what? It's not like it's a stranger's shit.
I'm in my own home. I don't need to wash my hands. The fact that she's even like questioning, she's like, it's not normal, right? Right? Like he's gaslit her so hard to the point where she's even questioning herself.
Yeah. Had to come to Reddit for advice.
That is absolutely insane to me. My brain can't comprehend. How did you marry a man-child? Like a literal man-child?
That's is this worse than the shower stompers?
Yes. No, I think
this is.
The shower stompers, I feel like, or what are they called? The poop stompers. Is it called shower stompers? Whatever.
The stomping waffles?
The waffle stompers?
Waffle stomping in the shower?
Was that even from our podcast? I don't think so.
I don't think we read that story. No.
But I think they were probably like raised in a household that everybody just did that. Which, I mean, this guy could have too. But like, I don't know.
Probably. No. Literally though, where would he pick this up? It would have to be in his family household growing up. If your parents didn't do that and they washed their hands after number 2 and they instilled in him as a child to wash your hands every time you go to the washroom, he would wash his hands. So obviously this was something that was never taught to him, that he had to wash his hands at home.
Yeah, I would think so. I feel like with the waffle stompers, that one like never really gets discussed with other people. But I feel like,
right? That's like a little dirty secret.
Yeah.
Washing your hands. But like, I have questions though. Like, I guess it's only in his house. So like, has any guest ever noticed when they come over for like a game stand or something that he'll go off into the washroom and they just never hear the tap?
I mean, I don't really pay attention to that stuff.
Like if the washroom's close enough to the living room, you hear the flush and then you hear the tap turn on. I noticed
our living room is pretty close to our washroom.
Yeah, and I hear when you go to the washroom, and then 2 seconds later, the sink turns on.
Okay, but you're saying when people come over, you pay attention to that? Because
no,
I definitely
not
don't.
that I pay attention. It's just something that I have noticed. Yeah. You've never noticed that?
No.
Like when the washroom that's at your parents' house, it's like right by the front door, and if I'm sitting on the couch, like I can hear the toilet go, and then I can hear the sink turn on.
I don't know. I just don't. I actually don't tune into that.
Huh. It's just I guess it's just a thing for me. I do want to say though, because like me as a guy, when I go to the washroom, if I only go number 1, I don't actually don't I actually technically need to wash my hands? Because hear me out.
No, I'm going to stop you there actually, because I don't want to hear you out.
No, you have to hear me out.
No, but I don't want to.
No, I'm going to talk anyway. Okay. I just pulled down my pants. Doesn't go anywhere near the toilet. And then I pull up my pants. And that's all I do when I go number 1. And I still have this urge to wash my hands every single time.
Okay, good. You do, right?
I do. I never.
Thank God.
I never don't.
You scared me.
Yeah, I will feel gross. But if you think about it, all I did was lower my pants and pull my pants back up. My hands were never near or touching the toilet. So therefore, my hands could technically be clean. But I still feel this ick that I need to wash my hands.
Good.
Yeah.
Let me one-up you and say you should go a step further and wipe your pee-pee off your pee-pee. Please. Please. No. Okay. I'm sure every woman, honestly, probably everybody listening could probably agree that it's a little bit gross that it's not normalized for men to not wipe their dicks after they pee.
I could kind of agree with that.
Because it's still dribbles. There are still dribbles on it.
Sometimes.
Why are you just pulling up your underwear? Your underwear is full of urine. It is. If you put it under a microscope, like under the scientific, there's gonna be urine everywhere. I'm telling you.
Okay, we're starting off really gross, but like, if you're a guy, you understand this, or maybe this is just a me problem. But like, sometimes you go to the washroom and you're done and stuff, and then like when you stand up to put your underwear on, like a little more than a couple drops come out. Like,
that's disgusting.
Like 9 drops or something, and you kind of feel it, and you're like, fuck, I got off the toilet too fast.
That's disgusting.
But I know where you're coming from.
Okay. Because
late at night, it touches you sometimes. I would just like to preface where I have started doing that. I have started dabbing. Sometimes the toilet paper gets stuck on the tip.
I wonder why.
Because it's wet.
Because it's fucking wet.
Yeah, but I've started doing that, especially if I get up in the middle of the night.
Oof. Okay.
Do you want to elaborate on why you think it's so gross?
Okay, well, one is just gross in general, even if you're not touching me with it.
Yeah, but like, how did you ever notice this to become a thing?
Well, Denver spoons me in the middle of the night, and when he goes to pee, guess what? Guess where it freaking ends up? All over my back.
And not your back, just
my
your
butt. Whatever.
Some of you might wonder, how does it get to the pajamas?
Okay.
I don't wear pajamas.
Or underwear for that matter.
I free ball it in the middle of the night. Yes. That's how I'm most comfortable.
We're getting way too personal now.
Way too personal.
That's gross.
So You're gross. But this is absolutely disgusting. And then he has the nerve to come put his hands in the mashed potatoes. I would have like thrown the fucking mashed potatoes in his face. I would have like threw the bowl at him. You're disgusting.
Done. Yep. Jesus. Starting off very strong.
Do you think he's delusional? That it's no big deal?
I would. Yes.
Have you ever seen the videos of fecal matter of what happens when you flush and you don't shut the lid on the toilet?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that.
I've started a new habit. You never did before.
I never did before, but like the last 2 years, I would say I've closed the lid.
Did you ever even close the toilet lid before me?
No, never.
Yeah, see, my mom growing up very instilled it that like the toilet lid gets closed when you're done using it. You never leave the toilet lid up, toilet seat up. Toilet lid, not seat. Toilet seat. And I always put it down. It bugged me at the beginning, but you adapted really quick, so good job.
I did.
Good job. But now we've started where like we close it before we flush it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are your weird washroom habits, guys? Let us know.
All right. Moving on.
All right. My husband, 32 male, is convinced I, 26 female, am pregnant. I'm not, but he won't believe me. What do I do? I'm truly at a loss here. This situation has gotten worrying, and I don't know what to do with it. Since about a week ago, my husband became convinced I'm pregnant. I have no idea why, because I'm not. We haven't even started trying, though we do have plans to in the future. We were just making conversation, and yeah, I did mention feeling tired, but that's all. A few hours later, he just came in so excited. I told him I'm not, but he won't let it go. He has made remarks about how happy he is and what a wonderful mother I'll be, what our baby will be like. Not all the time, but it has come up multiple times a day. I told him I'm not. I even took a test because even I started wondering, and it was undoubtedly negative. I showed him and he just got annoyed. He said tests can be wrong. He didn't speak to me for the rest of the evening. The next morning, he acted as if nothing happened. When I tell him I'm not, he just kind of shuts me out. I lost my shit yesterday when we were in bed and he put his hand on my stomach. I told him he's acting crazy. I'm not pregnant and his behavior is scaring me. He went to sleep in the guest room after that and left for work early in the morning. I haven't seen him or spoken to him today. I'm just at a loss. I don't know where this obsession is coming from. I even asked him if I gained weight, if that's what's gotten him confused. He assured me I didn't. I'm thinking of contacting his parents, or maybe a therapist or something. I honestly don't understand what's happening, and I'm worried about my husband.
The heck? That's weird.
It is just a little bit delulu.
It's a little bit delulu, yeah. Are you pregnant?
Please, don't put that out in the universe. Top comment says, has he tampered with your birth control? I would not have sex with him at the moment. Wait for your next period and then demand he sees a therapist.
I feel like the biggest thing for me of this is like if you're trying to have the conversation with him and say I'm not pregnant, and you took the test and you're like I'm not pregnant, but he keeps like doubling down and believing you're pregnant and saying I believe you're pregnant, and you're not. He's not even like, maybe you're not pregnant.
Yeah, like if
where's the logic?
Yeah,
it's like logic is missing.
Show me the proof.
Yeah, it's like, wait, you're not listening to sound reason and logic. What's happening here?
Yeah.
Where's the disconnect?
No, exactly. There's an edit that says, "Thank you all for the replies. I didn't expect all this. It's been overwhelming and I'm incredibly grateful. He's asleep next to me right now and I keep going through all the comments. My husband is one of the kindest people I've ever met. I promise you all that he's not trying to manipulate me or would do anything to harm me. But that does make me believe something is really wrong. I'll contact his parents in the morning once he's left for work. Maybe go stay with my mom for a bit, though I hate the idea of leaving him like this. I also definitely will make an appointment with my doctor for a blood test. Thank you for all the advice."
Jeez.
So there is an update. "Hi everyone, I hope it's okay that I post this update. I really appreciate everyone asking if I'm safe. I am. I wish I could give clear answers, but I can't. Things escalated when I tried to speak to him, keeping some of y'all's advice in mind. I sat him down and explained to him that I'd love to have kids with him in the future, but that I'm not pregnant right now, and that his insistence worries and scares me. I told him we can go to the doctor together if that would put his mind at ease, or I could take another test in front of him. I was just hoping to snap him out of it somehow. He got very agitated, said many hurtful things, and accused me of being a liar many times, that I'm trying to keep our baby away from him, and so on. Nothing made sense, and I wasn't feeling safe anymore. I knew my husband would never harm me in any way, but that wasn't my husband. Things got worse. He did hurt me, but nothing permanent or even emergency care worthy. I also know that if he was in his right mind, he never would have done anything like this. I called mine and his parents, and I'm now staying with my mom. He did seem to calm a bit down when his parents arrived. I haven't seen or spoken to him since then. His mother, she's an angel, is keeping me posted about everything. We all agree something is very off about him, and we don't know what it is, but he hasn't agreed to getting himself checked out in any way. I don't know how they'll go about it, but they say, and I painfully have to agree, that it's best to keep my distance for a bit, as most of it is aimed at me. I'm safe and so is he. I miss him so much, and I just want an answer as to why he's being like this. I keep trying to figure out if there were any signs before or what I did wrong. Thank you for all the replies. They were all great help. It's so kind you cared that I'm safe."
I'm so confused. How did he hurt her? Like what happened? Like in the fight?
I don't know.
There's slightly more details on that.
Yeah. But like what would you even do? Like I'm just trying to put myself in this situation. Like I don't know what I would do.
But what if
I would be worried.
What if it was the opposite? What if it was like you kept saying you were pregnant and then you took tests and they came back negative? You're like, "No, I can feel it. I'm pregnant."
I feel like that would be a bit different though, because it's like my body. Like I would know if something's different. But
that's true.
This is like
scary.
It is scary. Top comment says, "Sounds like he has an undiagnosed mental illness or major trust issues. He should seek out a psychiatrist or therapist or both. As others have mentioned, probably best to see a doctor and rule out other causes too."
Literally though. Yeah, no, I mean, something is breaking inside his head if every time you try to have a normal conversation, he's just agitated and freaking out and yelling and apparently swinging. So, yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. There's a lot more to this than I read past, but there is some updates here. I kind of feel bad for putting this in this category, actually.
Wait, why? Why is that?
I'm going to give the update.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if anyone will see this here, but you've all been so kind and keep asking whether or not we're okay. I hope I'll reach you like this. I'm going to keep this short. My husband has a brain tumor. A lot of people commented this, and I feel an immense amount of guilt that I hadn't considered it till then. All the headaches and other symptoms, in hindsight, we had previously dismissed because of his stressful work situation and so on. I'm beating myself up that I hadn't seen it before. A wonderful team of neurosurgeons, oncologists, and other physicians is figuring out the best approach here, if there is one. We'll hear more in the next few days. I've spent more time with my husband. Some moments he's his amazing self, others he's filled with anger. It's difficult, but we're managing. I wouldn't have been able to without the support of our family and friends. I love my husband. The situation is terrifying. In moments of clarity, he's trying to make me laugh, so I don't worry. That's who he is. Thank you, everyone, for pushing me to get him checked out.
Holy fuck, it's the brain tumor's back. All the other times I made jokes about it could be a brain tumor. Oh my God. I'm fucking terrified.
No, this is so scary and sad.
Oh my God, literally though.
God, okay, I'm sorry for putting this in the Delulu category, but I swear to God I did not see these updates before.
No, but like he kind of was at first. He was delusional, but now we have a real reason. He's not whatever delusional, personality delusional. Like he literally has a brain tumor.
Oh my God.
This is worse than the bathroom turned into a closet. What the heck?
Okay, another post in another subreddit. In the cancer family support, she says, I'm irrationally angry at my husband for having a brain tumor. I can't say these feelings out loud, not to the people around me, so I hope it's okay I do it here. But I'm furious with my husband for getting sick. I know he's not to blame. I know he's suffering, yet I'm still furious with him. I can't explain it. He's the love of my life. How dare he get sick? How dare he change anything about our wonderful life we have planned? I'm gonna fucking cry.
Me too. Oh my God.
How dare he leave me so much sooner than when we were old and senile. 2 months ago, our life was perfect. How could everything get so horrible so fast? I love him so much it hurts, and because of that, I'm so angry with him right now. I feel like a horrible person.
I feel like she's not actually angry at him.
No,
she's angry with life.
At the world. Oh my God. Okay. There's an update. It's 2 a.m. here, so I apologize if this is not very coherent. I'm going to step away from all social media, and I wanted to leave you with a brutally honest update. It's silly, but y'all's support has meant a lot to me. Don't get me wrong, I have a wonderful family and friends, but in a way I have to comfort them too, and I can't deal with it right now. My husband is dying. In the 5 weeks since his diagnosis, he's gotten worse quickly. Today, the decision has been made not to continue treatment or even properly start it. He's not strong enough. He has a month maybe, if we're lucky. I'm furious at the world right now, and I'm furious at him, which makes me an enormous bitch. Because what kind of person is angry at their husband for being ill? I love him so much and I hate him for it. I'm sorry, this isn't a better update. Wish you all the best. I'm getting choked up here.
Oh my God.
This is crazy.
This is sad.
Last update comes 1 month ago. He passed on the 16th. We had his funeral shortly after. Thank you for the messages. Wishing you all the best.
Oh my God, that's so hard. Her life just completely...
What the...
changed in 1 month or 4 months. 4 months. Oh my God.
This
3
was
months.
such a crazy roller coaster.
This is tough. Oh my God. I feel like the one with the closet and the bathroom was like short and sweet and kind of funny, and we didn't get to know what happened to that person afterward. But this one we do, and holy fuck.
That is so scary and sad.
This brings me back to like the last episode where I just like I'm very appreciative for everything in my life and that I don't currently have a brain tumor. Holy fuck.
Thank God you have happy ones, because what the fuck was this?
Yeah, what the heck was that, Teresa? That was a rabbit hole you took us down.
I'm so sorry. I had this, this was my first story that I had in this category. And I obviously...
So it's from a while ago.
It was from a while ago. It was the first post that I...
Yeah, so you probably read that before the updates.
I didn't see the updates,
Before the updates happened. Just, he has a brain tumor and that was it.
Oh my God. No, I didn't even see the brain tumor update.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know.
That's wild.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay.
I hope she's okay.
I don't think anybody can be okay.
I know. How do you...
You just one step in front of the other. In front of the other, yeah.
That's so sad. Sorry for breaking the mood down a bit.
Let's see if I can bring it back up.
Yes, please.
All right. Am I the asshole for refusing to feed my sister's kids for free every day? My older sister, 37 female, has 3 kids under 10. I, 25 male, don't have kids yet, but I'm a junior sous chef and I cook a lot in my spare time. During some recent time off from work, my sister asked if I could babysit her kids after school for 3 days. I said yes. I watched the kids, she paid me for it, and I thought that would be it. Then she asked me what the kids ate with me after the week had ended, and she wanted to know how I got her kids to eat a full meal. Her kids are picky eaters. They are typically the kids who will eat what they like off of a plate, meat and potatoes, rice or noodles, and then they leave the rest, like the veggies and the sauces. According to my sister and brother-in-law, even if you give more veggies than something else, they won't eat them, and they'll wait until their next meal. And if you give all the veggies or insist they eat the veggies before anything else, they'll skip the meal. I sort of knew that about them before I babysat, so I blended the veggies and other good stuff into their dinner the first day with me, and the second day I served them, but I hid them in plain sight, and on the last day I just served them the way they don't get them normally, and because they knew they had them, they ate them without an issue. But they wouldn't eat them for my sister or brother-in-law after. There was some back and forth between us, and I shared some recipes, but my sister said she couldn't get them to eat the food. So she wanted me to make food for her kids every day. I asked if she was going to pay me for spending all that time and money, and she told me I should do it as a way to help my nieces and nephews stay healthy. I told her that's a big ask. She told me I have a chance to really help and put my skills to good use for family. I feel like it's asking a lot because they would expect me to make something every day for the kids. But my sister feels like I'm being a bad brother and uncle. So am I the asshole?
Okay, I have some internalized misogyny here because I thought OP was a girl. But it's obviously a man.
It says right at the beginning, I, 25 male.
I didn't listen to that, obviously.
Right over Teresa's head.
Okay, well, no, you're not an asshole. That is a huge ask. Can you imagine every night? Oh, okay, we're going to uncle's for dinner.
No. Like, I can get because he's a chef, and I can totally understand asking your chef brother to cook meals.
But pay him.
The delusional part for me is the fact that you are not willing to pay him.
Yes,
I'd be
exactly.
Like, hey, do you want a side gig of like bulk making and prepping dinners for my kids so that they're eating all their veggies and they're doing all of that stuff?
Exactly.
So
yeah, it's not really like yes, it's a bit weird and time consuming to commit to just making your nieces and nephews food every night, but like for it to be paid, it's like, okay, maybe.
Yeah, like if it's a paid, it's like a part-time job, like a little side hustle, a little side gig. He is a chef.
Yeah.
So that's like, you're not just asking him because he's a good cook. Mm-hmm. Like if like he is a chef, that is your job. I'm asking you if you'd like a little side hustle and I'm willing to pay you for it. That's not delusional. The fact that he should do it and you're trying to guilt him that, oh, don't you want your nieces and nephews to eat healthy?
Yeah.
And I always say that when I see siblings with this huge age gap, she's 37, he's 25, 12 years apart, they're not even really siblings. Like, she would have been out of the house almost, unless she stayed home for a long time, before he was really like cognitive. You know what I mean? Like, she would have been 12 when he was born. So the time that he gets 5, she's 17. He's just starting, and then she could be out of the house. So that's like a huge age gap for me, I always look at those and I'm like, okay, how close are they as siblings? So this probably is an even bigger ask than it was like Madison asking me right now. Like, we're really close, like close in age gap, but then just like no money.
Yeah. No, it is truly delusional and entitled.
Very entitled.
So entitled.
Yeah, it's like Madison, so entitled, says that she's going to move closer back to Toronto to be near family, and calls me up and is like, hey, are you willing to babysit Andrew once per month? How entitled is that? I was like, what? I'm willing to do it once per week.
Duh.
Yeah.
You're asking her, when can I come babysit?
When can I babysit? I am number 2 trained right now.
A flex.
Yeah, it was flex. I guess we'll get into the life updates at the end of the episode. We went and visited Madison on Saturday.
Yes, we did.
Well, we went and visited Andrew and Madison and Chris happen to be there.
Yep.
Top comment on this one. Not the asshole. Does your sister know how much food costs? If she wants to buy the food and bring it over and provide the disposable to-go boxes, then I think you should do it. I cook for people all the time for free, but they pay for the food. If you enjoy it, it gives you experience, but only if she pays for the food and costs associated with it.
That's a fair point too, because it's not only you're asking to be paid for your time, which that was my assumption, but also the costs. Like,
yeah. Also, I'm still not even on board with that. She's like, if she brought the food and the to-go boxes, I think you should do it.
No.
What about his time? You're not putting anything on his time.
Yeah. Like what? He has to work like 8 to 10 hour day and then come home and work unpaid labor,
right?
For your kids. Like, no.
Is this a bad take? But like, how do parents not discipline their kids to eat their veggies?
I was trying to think that, like, what do you do in this situation?
Yeah, see, I feel like I'm a bad thought process for this because I had a scarring childhood when it came to food.
We know.
And I wouldn't want to do the same thing to my kids.
Yes.
But I feel like I would figure out a way to get them to eat their veggies.
I wouldn't know how. I think hiding it is a good,
like doing the meals where it blends in and it's like in there is pretty good. Like, you know, blend the corn with the mashed potatoes. Mm-hmm. Does anybody else get their mashed potatoes and then get the corn bowl and then put the corn right on top of the mashed potatoes, and then they put the gravy on top of the mashed potatoes and the corn, and it's a delicious slop. Kind of looks sloppy when you get the liquid in there and stuff. I always do that every Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's how I like to eat my mashed potatoes and corn.
Yep.
But I feel like I would have no problem getting kids to eat vegetables, but I guess in 5 years when Andrew's old enough, we'll find out how good I am.
So confident.
I am. But I have no experience.
Reasoning, no experience, nothing to back it up.
I agree with that.
I could do it.
I feel like I can. If you guys stick along in 5 years, stick around 5 years, we'll find out.
Sure.
Well, when would Andrew start and be in that phase? How old do they get when they got to teach them to eat their veggies? 4 or something like that. You got to negotiate, right? You want screen time, you want something else, you want to leave the kitchen table.
God.
Okay, OP does reply to that comment and says, she wanted me to accept the cost, even though she's already been saving money by buying less. I don't get that. Buying less.
Buying less food.
Because he's been cooking for them. Well, how often does he do that? I thought this was like a one-time thing that they go over.
I don't know. All right. Me?
Okay, back to you.
Back to me. Am I the asshole for leaving a first date because his mom came along?
What the fuck? No. No, please no.
So, I'm 21 female, and I went on a date last week with a guy I matched with on Hinge. Let's call him Jake, 25 male. We'd been chatting for a few weeks, and he seemed like a solid guy. Funny, good taste in music, and even remembered I loved Italian food. He planned the date at this little spot in Dallas, which I thought was sweet. I showed up, and everything's fine at first. He's already there, we hug, and he even complimented my outfit. But like 5 minutes after I sit down, this older woman walks in. Jake stands up and waves her over and says, "This is my mom." I thought I misheard him for a second. She sits down at the table, all casual, and starts introducing herself to me like this is normal. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there trying to figure out if I'm being pranked. I kind of laugh nervously and say, "Oh, I didn't know you were bringing anyone." And he goes, "Oh, she just wanted to meet you. Don't worry, it's not a big deal." But it was a big deal because she didn't just stop by to say hi. She ordered wine and stayed the whole time. She's asking me these personal questions about my job, my family, even if I want kids someday. It was like an interview, not a date. Jake barely said anything. He just smiled and kept nodding like this was all normal. After about 20 minutes of this, I couldn't take it anymore. I said I wasn't feeling great and needed to leave. I texted him later saying I didn't think it would work out and wished him well. Now I feel kind of bad. My roommate says I did the right thing because honestly, who brings their mom to a first date? But my coworker said it was rude to just leave and that maybe his mom was just super close to him or nervous for him or whatever. Was I wrong for walking out?
No, you're not wrong.
In what world?
You did the right thing. Just nip that in the butt. You do not owe anybody your time, especially on like first dates. You can leave that first date whenever you feel like you want to. As soon as you feel uncomfortable, get out of there. And that's what happened. They made you feel uncomfortable and you got out of there. Plus, like, where do you see that going? You want the mother-in-law from hell for the rest of your life? You're going to give him a second chance? Like, there's continue to be that there for him. Like, it's normal for him, for his mom to be there. She raised him. He thinks it's normal. It ain't normal.
I would just like to know how many dates before this.
How many have they done like this?
And how has he not put two and two together? Because
at least I will say that he's 25 male and not 37 male showing up with his mom.
I guess. But still, like, this can't be the first time.
You should, I think you should check back in with Jake and just ask him, how many other women have you done this with? And just FYI, hey, this is what, if you feel bad, just reach out to Jake and let him know why you left so that he can help himself for the future.
Yeah.
If you do feel bad, you just let him know, hey, this is what threw me off. I didn't like it. Best of luck with your future dates. That's all you have to do if you feel bad.
Yeah. That's a good point. Like, just let him know. Honestly, it's doing him a disservice if you don't let him know. So,
right?
But I feel like it's just common sense. Like, come on. I guess like people who were raised like really sheltered, like may think that this is normal. Like, I don't know.
You don't know what you don't know, right?
I guess, but yeah, I would just love to know how many dates before this.
How many other dates they've done this on?
Because I don't imagine they ended well. Obviously, he was on a new date, so.
Well, maybe the one girl who won't find this weird, that will be, his keeper.
Maybe.
Maybe this is a little delusional.
Yeah. Top comment. You're definitely not in the wrong here. Bringing his mom to a first date without warning is a major red flag. First dates are about getting to know each other, not being grilled by someone's parent. You politely excuse yourself, which is fair given the situation. Don't feel bad. You dodged an awkward future.
Yeah, and like, she politely did it. She didn't say, well, this is fucking weird that you brought your mom to the date. I don't like that. This is a red flag, so I'm out. Bye.
Yeah.
She like politely excused herself.
But like, not only did she just like not just sit there, but she was asking all the questions while Jake was just like smiling like a fucking
diving
happy.
In. What's your plans for the future? You're gonna have kids? What do you do for your job? What do you do for school? What's your favorite color? What car do you drive? Just like going off.
That's
Jake's just there with like a golden retriever.
No, exactly. That's what I'm picturing. Like, great answer. Great answer. Yeah. I can do this.
Oh yeah, good question, Mom. I didn't think of that one.
Crazy.
Oh man.
Delulu.
Oh man.
Okay. Yep.
Back to me. All right, so this one's coming from Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for refusing to financially support my sister because she chose to become a single mother?
Oof.
I, 32 male, have a sister, Emily, 34 male, who has always wanted to be a mother, but she hasn't been able to find the right partner. After years of waiting, I suggested she consider IVF treatment. I even helped her research the process and find clinics. She loved the idea and decided to go ahead with it. Emily had the financial means to afford IVF on her own, but it meant she had to cut back on creature comforts and luxuries for the foreseeable future. 2 months ago, after her 4th round of treatment, she got pregnant. The whole family is happy for her, and she's happy too. She didn't expect it to take so many rounds of treatment though, so the bill ended up higher than she was prepared for. She does have money to support herself, but not very comfortably. She asked our family for help so that she wouldn't have to make even more sacrifices. Our parents are retired and living on a fixed income, so they can't contribute much. This leaves me as her main source of potential financial support. Last week, Emily sat me down and asked me for money. I have no issue with people choosing to be single parents if they can afford it, but I don't believe it's fair to ask for other people to finance such a personal choice, especially when there are significant long-term financial commitments involved. I have a wife and a newborn son. While we do have some extra money, we're using it to keep our little family comfortable and save for a bigger house, since our current house is a single-bedroom condo. I told Emily that I wouldn't be able to help her foot the bill. Emily was heartbroken and furious. She argued that family is supposed to support each other and that I'm being selfish and judgmental. Our parents are also upset with me, saying that I'm not being a good brother. They think I should help her because she's family and this is her dream. They're especially upset because it was my idea and I helped her research it. I offered to help Emily by letting her eat dinner with us nightly since she lives nearby and letting her use my car, which is cheaper to run since it's electric. She said that is not nearly enough. I have my own family to think about and financial goals to achieve. I feel it's unreasonable to put myself in a difficult financial position for something that is Emily's personal choice, even if I initially suggested it. So, am I the asshole for not supporting her financially?
This is a great one for this category. She is completely off her rocker. Delusional.
Lulu.
The freaking Lulu.
I wish the world worked like family is supposed to support each other financially.
Yeah.
Madison and Kat, I hope you continue working because my financial dream is to live on a beach in Cabo and ride dirt bikes and not to play Call of Duty all day. So better buck up and pay the bill.
No, truly though. Like, in what world? Okay, it's one thing to like make a suggestion like, oh, you should do this and whatever. But for her to be like, okay, now you're reliable.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Right?
That's so crazy entitled. And he's already doing so much for her. He's saying she can come over for free meals.
Yeah.
He's letting her use his car.
That's good enough.
That's literally so nice.
Nobody's getting my car.
For you to like, for her to expect him to put her before his own family, his own son.
But like, you realize that we live in a 1-bedroom apartment and we have a newborn son. We would like to move out of this 1-bedroom apartment someday. We would like to buy a new place.
Of course. Like, it's just common sense. Like, a lot of this is just common sense, people.
Family's there to support you. Not foot the bill for everything.
Emotionally.
Yeah, emotionally.
Give you advice like he did.
Give you a Christmas present once a year.
Like, if you're going to make this huge life-changing decision, I would hope that you are smart enough to have a budget and just be more financially responsible.
Yeah.
Like this is so irresponsible.
You said that you want to have a baby, and he just suggested a way that you can do it without having to wait for a partner. That doesn't mean that he's on the hook.
Yeah, he's not going to be your baby daddy.
Yeah, just because he helped you do the things. That'd be like Madison wanted to buy Andrew a dirt bike, right? She wants to buy a dirt bike, and I do the research. I help her, and I'm like, yeah, this is the best bike. Get the KTM. But the KTM is $3,000 more than Kawasaki, and she's like, you need to pay for it now. I'm like, whoa. You asked for him to have a dirt bike. I just helped you with the research.
Well, I feel like that's a really bad example because you want him to get a dirt bike.
Well, I want him to have everything he ever wants, and everything that I want for him. So I'm just using the example in Denver terms. Denver loves dirt bikes.
Got it.
I helped her research, but I'm not footing the bill for the more expensive bike.
Okay.
It is the better bike. I would just, whatever. Moving on.
Yeah.
So there's a top comment. She can move in with her parents. That will save you lots of money.
Oh, exactly. There's so many options out there.
OP replies and says, our parents are living on a fixed income, like I said. She's already asked them for help, but they have less to spare than I do. Well, do they not have an extra bedroom? Like, what's their living situation like, you know? There's an edit. My sister is a homeowner with a slightly bigger house than mine, making slightly more money than I do.
Oh my God.
She can absolutely afford a child. She took from savings to pay for the 4th round of IVF and is rebuilding it as fast as possible by not spending. It isn't like she didn't budget. She just doesn't like being frugal. She also did take me up on the offer to temporarily trade cars and eat dinner with my family nightly. IVF was not my first suggestion. She wouldn't adopt because she wants a biological child. She did not use a donor IUI because she wanted PGT done to ensure that she would have a boy because that's what she's wanted since high school. I was not involved in her treatment or consultation, and I don't agree with her decision. I helped her research because I was trying to be a good brother. What the fuck?
I feel like him saying all this is like he's getting a little bit defensive, probably because comments were like, no, you need to help her?
I don't know. I don't think so. Another.
Well, it seems like he's trying to explain himself. Like, I don't know. Like, he's being a little defensive.
Well, second top comment says, not the asshole for not financially supporting your sister. All of you are significant assholes for encouraging and supporting your sister's dream to be a single parent without considering the cost of IVF plus the cost of raising a child. She's 34 years old. Does she understand what a budget is? Does she have a job that can support 2 or more people? Does she have a big enough home? What about daycare and babysit planning? Sounds like she has about 7 months to figure it out. Your parents aren't in a position to give her money, but what can they do? Childcare? Share a home so it's cheaper for all of them? You are still working on getting a bedroom for your own child.
I disagree with that comment 100% because she's a full-grown adult. Like you said, she's 34 years old.
Yeah.
She can make her own decisions.
Just because he helped her research it doesn't make him an asshole.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you are totally fine to be like, give her suggestions. If she's crying about how much she wants a baby.
She's just crying. She makes more money than him. She has a bigger house. She's just, and she makes more money than him, and she's asking him for money.
Yes.
That's so rude.
It's actually rude and disrespectful. It's a slap in the face. It's like, I don't want to be frugal. I don't want to have to cut back on my massage days.
Yeah. I don't want to give up my Mercedes for a Toyota.
No, I'm mad.
Oh,
I'm mad.
bro! I would not even be inviting her over for dinner. I don't want to see you. You're making me so angry of these demands and delusions.
He's better than me, honestly. Because
wow. And he swapped cars with her. No,
that's crazy.
I'm not giving up my car. That's wild.
Denver could never.
No way.
Wow, that's crazy. No, I don't agree with that comment at all.
I don't know.
See, it sounds like he was trying to defend himself, which he did not need to.
No, he didn't.
I have his back.
Yeah. Just because you suggested ways that she could get a baby, like, he didn't even suggest IVF. He just helped her research it, and he didn't agree with her.
Oh, wait, didn't he, though?
No.
Oh.
He was helping with other options. He suggested adopting. He suggested finding a sperm donor. She wanted IVF and whatever it is to make sure it was a boy.
Yeah.
Did we just find the type of woman who's going to show up to her son's first date?
Yep, probably.
Jesus.
All right.
Back to you.
This one's coming from Best of Redditor Updates. My mom died a couple days ago. My boyfriend is refusing to go to the funeral or let my daughter go with me because it's religious. Like the title says, I, 26 female, lost my mom a couple days ago from ovarian cancer. I'm devastated right now, and my boyfriend, 31 male, we've been together for a year and a half, isn't helping me at all. My mom and I weren't on good terms before her death because of my boyfriend. John and my mom never got along because he's a deep-set atheist, and my mom is very religious. Major issues popped up once I got pregnant and had my daughter. My mom pressed for me to have my baby baptized into the church, which I wanted to do, but John was dead set against it. He convinced me that baptizing her and indoctrinating her was a bad choice, and we should leave it to her to choose when she was old enough. I agreed. My mom didn't take this well at all, and after many angry and hurt arguments, she cut off contacts with me. Not having my mom with me during my pregnancy or my baby's birth took a big emotional toll on me, but John insisted it was for the best and he didn't want my mom near my daughter at all, and that my mom was evil for hurting me. At the time, I was angry, so I agreed. I found out my mom was sick with ovarian cancer a month ago when she called me and wanted to talk. I was horrified, and all the bullshit just kind of fell away. I tried to make the best of my time with her. I brought her my daughter to meet her grandma and tried to build her good memories with her. I'm happy to say we reconciled and my mom and I made peace with each other before she died. I don't want to trash my boyfriend, but John has been a pain in the fucking ass since I found out my mom was sick. He said she deserved it, but quickly backed down when he saw how angry that made me. He refused to go with me to visit or help care for my mom. He didn't even really want to listen to me talk about how happy I am to reconnect with my mom. All he did was remind me that my mom hurt me and I should have no contact with her and she didn't deserve for me to speak to her. I told him that my mom isn't perfect, but my mom also raised me by herself and that she was my rock for many years and he should respect that. He said nothing outside of telling me there was no value in talking to her. Now we're planning the funeral. I asked John to go with me, and he refused instantly. He said he hated my mom, and that she was a cunt to our family, and that he wasn't going to church ever, and it was rude and insensitive of me to ask. When I said I was taking my daughter, he had the nerve to actually tell me I was not under any circumstances taking her. I have been through an emotional roller coaster this past week. I lost my mom after we finally made up. My boyfriend has been stupidly unsupportive, and now he's refusing to let me take my child to her grandmother's funeral and refusing to come to at least support me. My daughter is the one thing that brings me comfort, and I want her with me. Is that so unreasonable? It seems like the more I push, the more he digs his heels in, and I just can't take it anymore. I don't know what to do. His attitude towards this entire thing is breaking my heart on top of my mom's death.
Jesus, that's heavy. Jesus got all the heavy ones today.
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Jeez.
I think it's pretty delusional, though.
It's pretty, yeah. No, that's really delusional that you can't go to a funeral, like
because it's religious.
Because he's an atheist. I feel like he's a toxic atheist.
Yes, he's literally toxic.
Like, there was this one skit that I saw that just kind of put it into perspective for me. It was like, what was the guy from? He was a guy from Pacific Rim, not the main character. The funny character. He's also like, he plays the school teacher one.
I don't even know what that is.
I'll try and find the clip and I'll throw it at the end of this episode for you. But it basically is like, it's an argument of like why God exists. And it was about proving how God exists to atheists. And at the end of the skit, 5 minutes, whatever, he had the atheist agree that it's a possibility. Like you can't prove it, that you can't prove he exists, and you can't prove he doesn't exist. Yeah. Right? So it goes both ways. Whatever you want to believe is what you want to believe, but just like you can't prove that he exists, doesn't mean you also can't prove that he doesn't exist. So therefore it's like, oh, I listened to that and I was like, okay. It just gave me a much more open mind perspective. At one point, I was kind of like more atheist leaning, and now I'm just like, whatever. But that's like toxic atheist driving down because
I was gonna say it's like similar to like a religious person trying to push their belief onto you.
I guess that's kind of what happened though. She's stuck in the middle of being a neutral person, going against both poles: the over religious pole of her mother and the over atheist pole of her boyfriend, and she's kind of stuck in the middle, like being like a normal person. Like he did have I did agree with this point where on the baptized into the church where he didn't want her to do it.
I feel like this should have been discussed before having a child.
Sure, but I just mean like I kind of agree where like he was thought maybe that when she's old enough to decide, that's something she can do. I kind of agree with that, of not forcing the child into stuff. Like I don't like when kids get their ears pierced before they make the choice to do that for themselves. Like, so some of those things I could kind of agree with that. And then same thing, like if the parent is so like, do it or you're out, I could feel that, okay, I'm pushing back as well, kind of want to cut contact. But he just went really toxic of not being able to like forgive, especially when she finds out she has cancer and stuff. So like I'm not saying I disagree fully with his atheist takes. I kind of agree with some of them because the person has just put the choice in the child and they can decide when they get older what they want. But he just was staying toxic so much.
Yeah. And the biggest thing is he's not allowing his daughter to go to the funeral. Yeah,
it's a funeral. I didn't know a funeral was a religious thing. Like I understand like the person was like Christian and religions are going to have different funerals for that do them, but a funeral is a funeral.
Right?
So like what do atheists do for their funeral? Do we just what do we do for them? Do we cremate them and then put them down the drain?
Question. I don't know.
Wash them down the sink? Like what happens?
Jesus.
No, but like actually, like I don't know what happens to an atheist. They don't believe in anything, so
yeah, I don't know.
What do they believe happens with your body when it dies?
Not a clue.
So he's very toxic.
Yes, 100%. Some relevant comments. How does he plan on stopping you from taking her to the service? OP replies, he can't. I've decided that I'm taking her unless he tries to physically stop me. And even then, good luck.
He can't physically stop her, but like, what if he does something really toxic, like wakes up early in the morning and like takes her away for the day?
There's an update.
No way. No way.
Before I get into the update, I want to read one of the comments from OP that talks about her mom. My mom actually cut me off when I said that we decided not to baptize my daughter. I tried for weeks and months to reach out to her and even texted and called when the baby arrived and got no response. I really wish I had tried harder, like gone to the house and knocked, or even just tried to run into her and talk to her. I was really hurt by what my mom did, and I let John talk me into thinking that my mom really was this mean, vindictive person for cutting me out of her life. Trust me when I say I regret it with all my heart now.
Okay, like, not to play like devil's advocate, but like imagine we had a child and one of our moms refused to come because we didn't want to baptize or circumcise or some kind of religious belief or something for the child. I feel like I kind of would be on John's side.
I was thinking that too.
I would be like, you didn't show up. You cut me out of your life.
Yeah.
I would agree. I don't think he was manipulating her at that point. I would have said the same thing. Like, if she wants to cut you, then, you know, her loss type of thing.
Yeah, I don't think he was trying to manipulate her at this point.
At that point,
I think this is, like, valid.
It sounds like that was the choices that her mom made.
Yeah.
Because they refused to baptize because of her religious beliefs.
Now, is it different? Because OP said that she wanted to have the kid baptized.
But that's not fair to, I don't think that's fair to John, because John believes in not baptizing the child.
And she believes she does. So,
but she chose to listen, to respect his beliefs. It obviously wasn't a big deal for her. She's not religious either. So that was the decision that she decided to make. I don't think she can blame John for that. Like, if that was something that was so important for her, I feel like she would be saying that. She's like, John convinced me, but it's like, you saw his reasoning at the time for what his beliefs were, and you became to believe the same thing, that she should choose when she's older. So I don't know if that's fair to say that John manipulated her in that. I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to read the update.
Okay.
Thanks everyone that sent me condolences about my mom. It's been really hard these past several days, but I've been hanging in there okay. I tried being reasonable to John about how he handled things. I even told him, like one poster here suggested, that he didn't have to go to the service, but could wait in the lobby with my daughter while the service was going on. Then she could spend time with my family after the service, but he again shot it down. He would be able to hear the service, and that was a violation of his beliefs, and asking to compromise on those beliefs was unconscionable and unfair to our daughter.
I'm confused. I thought atheists don't have any beliefs. Maybe I don't understand atheism, but maybe they do have their beliefs of their own, but I thought they were just
they believe that they don't believe.
Right. So then how is going and hearing anything against his belief? Now he's just digging his heels in or something.
Yeah. I told him I had it. This is the icing on the very large cake. I told John that as of this week, I wanted our bank accounts separated. He made us join bank accounts to make sure we split everything equally to be fair, despite me making more, and that I'd be staying with my brother after the funeral while we figured out what to do, whether that was a total breakup or counseling. It was up to him. He said counseling was for the weak-minded, and that we were staying together despite my empty threats, and there was no way in fuck he was letting me take his money. He became very loud and in my face during this conversation, so I just let him throw his tantrum until he took my silence as agreement. I took my daughter with me to the viewing with no problems. John and I barely spoke that day, which was fine by me. But it hit the fan the next day. When I got up in the morning to get myself ready and get my daughter ready, I discovered that he had the motherfucking gall to park his car directly behind me, blocking me into the driveway. I had no way to get to the funeral in my own car. John always drives to work, but for some reason I can only imagine where to get back at me, decided to take the metro and took the baby carriage and bottles and my pump with him. My brother and I have our differences, granted. In fact, we haven't talked much since my mom and I were estranged. We started talking again after she was sick, but he'll forever be a saint to me for what he did. I called him crying, and he and my sister-in-law arrived within 20 minutes. Sister-in-law calmed me down and helped me get my daughter ready, and then brought along spare bottles, a carrier, and a breast pump. Thanks to them, I was able to go to my mom's funeral in comfort, and my daughter was an angel during the service. They calmed me down and everything went perfectly, and even though I was a mess most of the day, having my daughter with me and my sister-in-law and even my brother with me to lean on gave me peace on the inside. I've made up my mind not to tolerate John's insane and controlling behavior anymore. He had a litany of excuses for doing what he did. He even tried to claim his car had problems. I don't want to hear any of them. I never wanted to be a single mom. I always wanted to raise my baby within a family. But I've decided that going alone is so much better than doing it with this man, who thought nothing of trying to kick me while I was down. My brothers arranged for me to talk to a friend of his that specializes in family law this week, and we're taking it from there. I feel so guilty for what happened with my mom. I miss her so much. I hope from here on out I can make her proud of me, despite my mistakes.
Oh my God, that's almost as bad. At least he didn't take the daughter and go. Parked his car directly behind me and left for work.
And took everything, the pump, the baby bottles.
Depending on how tight this situation is, I would lose both bumpers off of the car before I messed a funeral. I would put my car into reverse, push his car into the middle of the street. I will damage my bumper. I will damage his car just so that I could go. But then he doubles down the fact that he took the bottles, took the pump. I'm losing my stuff. I'm losing it now. And me personally, I would just whatever, go to the store and buy it. But not everybody's in the situation where you just replace all that stuff instantly.
Also time constraints
and time constraints. You get into the funeral and stuff. Thank God for the brother. At first, okay, I feel like there's a bit of a point where his beliefs rubbed off on her, and that's just natural. That's what happens in relationships. Even people on the religious side, atheist side, what happens? That happens for both sides. I think she was in the rights to do what she did and continue on with her life when her mom decided to cut her off because of her decision not to baptize. Because I feel like that decision is with both of the parents. If he convinced her, whatnot, that's whatever. But the mom made the decision to cut her off. I think this is just going way too far now where he doesn't have a bone in him to forgive. At the beginning, I don't think she did anything wrong. I don't think she should have baptized her kid to make her mom happy, because that's going on the other side.
Yeah, I agree.
I think she was in her right choice if she didn't want to baptize her child. But then she also says here that John made us have joint accounts to make sure that we split everything fairly, despite me making more.
He's very manipulative.
That's where I'm wait, what other things did he make you do?
And that's what I meant. It sounded like this was his choice. The whole baptism thing, because she said I wanted it. It sounds like he was being manipulative.
Yeah, so it sounds like he's being more manipulative than just her decisions and stuff. Because I can't see the relationship with my mom or your mom going any different if we had a belief for our kid and they didn't show up to the birth or anything and they decide not to be there in those moments. I feel like it would be a similar thing for us of cutting. So that's wild. Yeah, I would have wrecked my car. There would have been nothing stopping me.
Yeah.
I'll pay for the damage later, but I guess not everybody could pay for the damage and stuff. But I'd be infuriated. I'd be so infuriated.
Yeah. Okay. Top comment. Been together a year and a half. Already have a baby. Combined finances with her making more. He was turning the heat up under that particular pot. I'm glad she got well rid of him before COVID and all that. This post was from 2016.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was a year and a half that they were dating for. I don't remember them setting the terms.
And it's 9 months to have a baby.
It's they got pregnant right away and it just was a mistake that happened or something.
Yeah, it says we've been together for a year and a half. Second line.
At the last line that she says there, she says, I feel so guilty about what happened with my mom. I miss her so much. I feel like she feels guilty because she didn't want to baptize. And I think she feels guilty because he did convince her that she doesn't want to baptize.
For sure.
Which I think...
But I don't think that was her, if it were up to her, I don't think that was her choice.
Yeah. But I don't think it's fair of her mom to do what she did as well.
I agree.
So
I agree.
I don't think she should feel so guilty that she didn't baptize her child. Like I understand she feels sad, and I understand a lot bad happening in cancer, but if your parent is forcing you to do something for your child and they're willing to cut you out of your life because you didn't do that for their grandchild, I don't think you should feel guilty like that.
Yeah, I agree.
But the guilt is there because now the mom's gone and there is no rekindling the relationship or even trying or anything. So that's where some of that guilt is coming from. But yeah, I just don't think she should have to feel as guilty.
Yeah. All right.
That's a tough one. You have all the heartbreakers. The heartbreak tree.
Well, at least we're balancing each other out.
I got the funny ones. You got the heartbreakers.
Do I have any funny ones? No.
No. 5 minutes. Teresa just searched for 5 minutes, guys. That was not 20 seconds. That was 5 minutes.
I guess like I have ones that aren't super depressing, but I don't think this one was like super depressing.
Not depressing. Why do all yours involve death though? Everybody's living their life on Teresa's Reddit.
I don't know. Anyways.
Back to me.
Okay.
We'll get a...
I have one more death one.
Oh my God. What the heck?
Okay. Maybe I have 8 stories, so maybe I'll save that for Patreon.
Let's get a good old-fashioned cheating story.
All right.
This one is coming from r/advice.
Okay. Your new favorite subreddit.
I think it's cheating. My husband doesn't.
It probably is. Probably is.
At the end of summer, me and my fiancé of 6 years moved out of my home country to another country. After a few weeks, I had some family problems and I had to come home, so I left him there alone for 2 months. 2 weeks ago, I joined him in our new house and all was well. 2 nights ago, he fell asleep early, so I decided to put his phone on charge for him when a message popped up from a woman on TikTok. We are both in our late 20s and don't even really use TikTok, so I was confused and I looked further. It was clear while I was away that he was trying to text various women online and none were really responding. I woke him up and asked him who are these people. He gaslit me and tried to downplay the entire thing, that he was just bored while I was away and had nobody to talk to. I was hurt because I know if the roles were reversed, he would be very mad at me for seeking out conversation with random men online, which I don't. Anyway, I let it go. He told me he was just bored and that was it. Okay, but I couldn't help that nagging feeling inside me that it was more. So last night I waited for him to fall asleep and I checked his phone once more. I know, unhealthy, but I had a bad feeling. But there was nothing. Every app search was cleared. Every old message that was there the night before cleared. I thought, So I went to his email and I typed in some different things and there it was. Subscriptions paid to 2 different dating apps that are now deleted on his phone. I woke him up and confronted him and he said again that he was just bored and looking for someone to talk to. After further discussion, he admitted that he was just really horny while I was away and wanted sex, but nothing more, and he always loved me and it really meant nothing. He said nothing came from the apps and he never met anyone, so really there was no cheating involved. For full disclosure, while I was living in my home country, I was living with his mom. After 6 years together, I am very close with her, so this relationship with him was very clearly serious. He wants me to forget it now and move on because, quote, nothing really happened. But the intent to cheat on me while I was gone really hurts me, and the continuous lying really gets me. So, is this technically cheating or not?
Yes, 100%. Even if it was just for the purpose of sexting, if that's as far as he wanted to go, that in my eyes is still cheating.
Right? I agree.
This relationship is done, unfortunately, or fortunately for you.
6 years.
6 years down the drain. Buddy fucked it all up for...
He probably did cheat, though. Who's to say he didn't? You can't trust him. Who's to say he didn't meet up with any of them?
No, but even if he didn't, like, it's still done. You literally can't trust him.
Yeah, there's no trust.
2 months she was with your mom.
The fact that he doesn't respect you enough? Like, come on.
Trash.
You have a hand, bro.
No, literally.
Use it.
That's what I was going to say.
But like it's 2024. Get yourself a flashlight if you need one.
Please.
Pinkjerry.com. It's available for everybody. Maybe they're not worldwide.
The internet is free.
Well, we don't know what country they're in.
Well, still. There's other alternatives. Like 2 months is not that long.
I heard if you sit on your hand long enough, it feels like it's someone else.
I'm sorry. No, it's getting weird. Let's stop.
Okay.
Top comment?
Oh, yes. Top comment. His actions, like using dating apps while you're away, show a lack of respect for your relationship.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Moving on. It's been short and sweet. Am I the asshole for asking my pregnant colleague if she is having a boy or a girl? Today, at our weekly team meeting, one of my colleagues announced that she is pregnant and will be going on maternity leave in April. Everyone reacted with congratulations and excitement for her, and I did too. We all told her we're very happy for her and her family and wish her all the best. A few minutes later, I was in the elevator with her and 3 of our other team members, so 5 of us out of a total team of 11 people, on our way back to our desks. Just for the sake of conversation, I asked her if she is having a boy or a girl. Her face kind of fell, and she grimly and shortly said, "Boy." I thought it was strange that she reacted like this, but I let it go. Then, after I was back at my desk, she came up to me and said that my question was inappropriate, that she was planning on announcing the gender herself, but I, quote, forced her to say it like that in the elevator, so now half of our team knows, and it killed the magic. I was honestly really confused and apologized profusely. She lectured me on how I shouldn't be asking personal questions and walked away. I honestly couldn't have thought this was in any way a personal question. Is it too personal? I'm a 24-year-old dude, and I don't know anything about pregnant women or babies or social customs, I guess. I was just trying to be friendly. Am I the asshole?
You are an asshole, dude. How dare you try to talk to a pregnant lady?
Shut up. You scared me for a second.
But like if you wanted it to be a surprise, that you can just say like, "Oh, don't know yet."
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
well, I'm waiting to announce that. You just announced you're pregnant. That's obviously going to be you need to be able to handle that question.
The follow-up question is, do you know what you're having?
The follow-up question is always, "Hey, do you know if it's a boy or a girl? Like, when are you gonna find out before? Are you waiting?" Like, that's always a follow-up question.
This poor guy. I actually feel sorry for him. Like,
this is probably the first time he's ever asked a pregnant lady that kind of question.
Yeah.
And now he's just deterred for the rest of his life.
That's so unfortunate.
He's going to be the silent, awkward person the next time he's around somebody who says they're pregnant.
No, because then someone else is going to be like, well, you're rude for not asking me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't care about me. You don't even ask me any questions.
Oh, so delusional. Top comment. Not the asshole. Gender announcements and reveals are only special to the person announcing it, and I feel they've gotten so out of hand. Quite frankly, she could have just said, "I'll wait to announce that myself to everyone if you don't mind." But she decided to be petty AF about it, and being pregnant and hormones isn't an excuse to deflect bad behavior onto you. Someone who is being kind, asking questions. Don't bother getting her a gift.
Bam, straight up.
Don't you dare.
I will say that without social media, nobody's doing gender reveals. Were gender reveal parties, have you ever heard of that before Instagram?
No.
I'd never heard of a gender reveal party to see like pink and blue colors coming out of something. Like, I guess I would have heard of like, they got like a little bib that was pink or blue maybe. I don't know. I feel like social media has amped up gender reveal parties. I don't remember ever going to any of my cousins' gender reveal parties.
No, it wasn't a thing.
I don't know if that wasn't a thing or if I was just a young child.
No, I don't think it was a thing. It's pretty like...
It's a thing nowadays because social media. People want to find creative ways to show the color pink or the color blue.
Yeah. But also it's like, it's your coworkers. Like, you're going to have a gender reveal for just your like, I don't know. I think this is weird.
You don't have gender reveals for your coworkers. That's a family thing.
Like, yeah, this is like, that's with your closest people. Like, I don't know. This is really weird to me. And for her to like go up to him and be like, that was rude.
Very rude.
No, like she said that was rude. Like what he did.
What she did was rude.
Yeah, I agree.
She tormented this guy.
Poor guy.
I have a great gender reveal. All right, we go parachuting. We get a special parachute made. And when the chute opens up, it's either pink or blue.
That's cute.
If you're like skydivers.
Yeah.
Skydiver couple. Bam.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back to me. My next one is coming from Am I the Asshole? Before I get into it, quick public service announcements. If you guys have been enjoying following along so far, please smash the like button on YouTube. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And on Spotify, drop a comment. Let us know if you like me or Teresa better. Who's your favorite host?
I don't know if I want to know the answer to that.
All right. Am I the asshole for refusing to attend my sister's wedding? Can't go wrong without a wedding. Can't do an episode without a wedding story.
Of course.
I, 28 female, recently made a decision that my family is calling unforgivable, but I still don't think I'm completely in the wrong here. My younger sister, 23 female, has been planning her dream wedding for over a year. It's going to be extravagant, expensive affair in a luxurious destination. However, we come from a very modest background, and I feel like she's lost touch with our roots. When my sister initially shared her wedding plans, she also revealed that she was expecting everyone to contribute financially, even beyond the typical wedding gifts. She expected each guest to help pay for part of the wedding, which included travel expenses and an extravagant gift. I was shocked by her audacity and couldn't afford to continue as she expected. I also felt it was unfair to put this financial burden on guests, so I told my sister that I couldn't attend her wedding and couldn't contribute as she wanted. Now, my family is furious with me. They say I'm being unsupportive and that I should prioritize family over my own financial concerns. They believe I'm ruining my special day and that I should just find a way to make it work. I still think my sister's demands are unreasonable, and I shouldn't be expected to go into debt or deplete my savings for her extravagant wedding. Am I the asshole refusing to attend my sister's wedding under these circumstances?
I would just love to know where people get these ideas.
I would like to change our wedding plans. Can we cancel our venue and book the one on the Lake Como that they said where they filmed Gucci, and then just tell Kat and Madison that because they're family, they have to foot the bill? And Unj and Elio and your parents, they all have to just
perfect. Works for me.
Figure it out, guys.
Figure it out. Not my problem.
Not my problem. We're family. Not my problem. You didn't want to demand this for your weddings? Hey, you guys missed out. Your weddings are done and gone now.
That's your problem.
Yeah, sounds like a you problem. So
truly though, so delusional.
Oh my gosh. Top comment on this. Not the asshole at all. Anyone who expects anyone else to pay for an extravagant wedding, except I guess deluded parents who are willing to, is an entitled asshole. A destination wedding to boot. How will people fund her dreams and attend? I guess they should forego basic necessities for the privilege of attending this royal event.
No, literally. The fact that the parents were like, you need to prioritize your sister over your own financial needs.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
What do you mean?
It's your choice if you want to do that. I have my own decision to make over here.
Okay, I'm going to end up on the street for her?
Right? Am I going to be able to come back home? So the comment continues and says...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't over.
Sorry.
Let your family go broke feeding into her delusions of grandeur. I don't blame you for steering clear of this train wreck. She will be a nightmare and probably ungrateful if she doesn't get every last thing she wants as well. Enjoy the show. What is that saying? The more expensive the wedding, the shorter the marriage.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's why our wedding's dirt cheap. Get no upgrades.
Basic decor.
Basic decor. No flowers. The flowers are out, guys. Flowers are out.
Can't even afford a boutonniere.
No, I'm wearing a t-shirt. I'm not buying a tux. Return your wedding dress.
My mom fortunately paid for that. Thank you, Mom.
She had a financial obligation too. She was family.
You absolutely did not.
No, she did. According to this person.
Yeah, literally.
There's an update.
Oh.
I received a lot of feedback after my initial post, and I wanted to provide an update on the situation. First of all, thank you to everyone who shared their thoughts and advice. It was eye-opening to hear different perspectives. After my original post, I decided to have a heart-to-heart conversation with my sister about my concerns. We had a long talk about her expectations and my financial limitations. She admitted that she might have been overly ambitious in her wedding plans and the financial burden she placed on guests on her behalf, seeing as she quite literally wasn't paying for almost anything. Her groom was. We also discussed potential compromises. In the end, my sister decided to scale down her wedding and make it more budget-friendly for everyone. She apologized for any undue pressure she had put on me and other guests. I appreciated her willingness to be understanding, and it meant a lot to me. The wedding is 2 weeks from now, and I've decided on not going. Not because I don't want to, but because I've already had some things planned for the week and day of, which I feel bad for doing in the midst of an argument. In light of the changes and the compromise, it's clear that I was not the asshole for my initial decision. By addressing my concerns with my sister and finding a middle ground, we managed to resolve the situation amicably. It was a valuable lesson in communication and setting boundaries, and I am glad I could help my sister see her wrongdoings. Thank you all for your help and helping me navigate this difficult family situation.
Like, okay, that's all great, but like, we still had to go through these hurdles for what? Like,
so a roller coaster ride.
How did we get here?
You shouldn't have to have a heart-to-heart, sit-down conversation with the expectations of reality. But also, the wedding is 2 weeks from now. Why is she having the wedding 2 weeks out and telling people 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Hey, you need to do this.
Help financially.
And then also, like, your sister had things already planned for the date that you picked for your wedding. Isn't that like, as a family, you come together and you be like, hey, does this date work for everybody?
Right.
Like, wouldn't you want your sister there? They're only 5 years apart. I feel like they're kind of close. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's interesting.
Delusional.
Little delulus.
All right. My fiancé wants a pass before our wedding, which is just a few weeks away. Relationship over? ? My 28 male, fiancé, 29 female, have been together for 4 years now, and it seems like everything was great and mutual. Yesterday at dinner, my soon-to-be wife brought up the idea of both of us having a free sleep with whoever pass before the wedding. This stupid idea of hers completely blindsided me. I could tell that she had been thinking about it for some time and just wanted for the perfect moment to bring it up. She said it would be healthy for our relationship and our marriage would be off to a better start because of it. She also claimed it would help get everything out of our systems. In the 4 years we've been together, I've never thought about being with someone else, but it just sucks to know that she doesn't feel the same way. Once she realized I wasn't as excited about her idea as she was, she began to retract her statements. I really didn't talk to her after that and just went to bed. Since this morning, she's been apologizing over text. I'm not sure what to feel about this whole mess. On one hand, I really do love her, but I also feel a sense of betrayal from her. I'm not sure if she has a guy in mind or just wants a one-night stand. We're getting married in December, just a few weeks away. A breakup seems like something that would not be fun to deal with. Outside of the emotional pain, we've been living together for 2 years. We have a whole wedding planned with people coming for us. I'd like to try and work this out, and maybe I'm just overreacting. My friends think I need to cut my losses and move on. I'd like the opinions from people outside my circle of friends. If I call it off, I have to do it before visiting her family for Thanksgiving. Thanks.
This is why you should wait until 6 years to propose.
Why?
You need to build a healthy, solid relationship. They proposed too soon. Really,
4 years?
Should have waited till 6. We did 6, and look at how strong we are.
That doesn't mean other people... Are you making a joke? I guess you're making a joke.
No, not a joke.
Haha.
I would also say that maybe you should have a bit more of a conversation with her. I mean, if you don't know, if you're like, I don't know, like obviously you don't know because you're here and you're asking for advice. Some people would be like, boom, it's automatic, done, moving on. You're curious. So I feel like in your position, you should have another conversation with her. You should go back to it and ask and be like, what made you think like this? Why do you want this? Did you have someone in mind? If I did agree with this, like, how does this play out in your head? What were you thinking? Are you going to a strip club and hiring yourself, taking one of them home with you? Maybe you want to dive into why she feels like she needs to do this. Is she bringing it up because she thought that's something that you want to take advantage of for the relationship to be healthy? Why?
I mean, maybe she thought that. That's a good point. Yeah, I feel like just having a conversation with her, like, what would you do if this was us?
I'd be very hurt, but I would probably ask you, and I would probably try to flush out of you to see if you have somebody in mind already. And if I flush out of you and somebody in your mind is somebody, you already have somebody in mind, I think we would be done.
Yeah. I would say so too.
I would agree with him on what he said. He's like, we've been together for however long, and I've never thought of wanting to sleep with another person.
Yeah.
I'm on that same field. I would agree with that. I feel like once you meet that person who you're in love with, who you're obsessed with, who you want to spend every day with, who's your best friend, those feelings of like wanting to sleep with somebody else, they don't happen.
Yeah.
Because you don't feel like you're settling. I feel like those thoughts only happen, or you're curious with somebody else, is because you've settled in your current relationship. I that's the only way I can think of it, because I feel like I've met the love of my life and the most amazing person I've ever met in my entire life, and I'm happy to spend the rest of my life with that. There's not even a blink of a thought of sleeping with somebody else.
Me too, honey.
I just think when's the next time I can sleep with her?
Feeling is mutual. You don't have to worry about me.
It's good. You passed.
Top comment. Nothing screams commitment like wanting to fuck someone else. In any case...
Yeah.
In any case, it's probably useful to ask who she had in mind. If this suggestion came from nowhere, one wonders why. You obviously can't move forward with a marriage when your partner suddenly becomes a stranger again.
Yeah, I think a conversation is at least warranted before you break off an engagement in a 4-year relationship.
Yeah.
You need to have more answers. Why? Where did this come from? Why are you thinking this? Did you watch a weird TikTok that said everybody should have a hall pass before they get married if you want to have a happy marriage? Where did this influence come in where you thought this was a good idea? Why did you think this is a good idea? Is this something that you think that we need for our marriage, or is this something that you want?
Yeah. And yeah, like maybe it is something as harmless as like she thought that this is what he wanted,
or what
like
would
a
be
great
good
wedding gift or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly, something like that. So that's where I feel like it deserves to have a little bit more communication, have a little bit more of a conversation about that, because it might not be as clear, as simple as everybody says.
Yeah,
she might be thinking more of you. She might have watched a weird TikTok and went right to her head. Maybe. Yeah. Very most likely unlikely, but you're gonna want that peace of mind to like get more answers out of her.
Yeah. Okay.
Back to me.
Yes.
This one's coming from r/advice.
Again.
Jeez. Well, I was reading it, and then I've apparently most people asking for advice, they have somebody delusional in their life.
Oh.
My sister is demanding that I either abort or let her adopt my baby. I, 28 female, am currently 19 weeks pregnant. My partner, 29 male, and I are very excited as this is our first baby and we have been trying for a few months. We announced the pregnancy a month ago at a dinner party we hosted, and everyone seemed surprised and overjoyed. My sister, 35 female, who I will call Kay, immediately burst into tears and asked me how could I do this to her? I stared at her and asked, "What?" She started ranting, saying that I always got everything I wanted, which is not true. I worked hard for everything that I have, and that she knew I got pregnant just so I could rub her infertility in her face. She screamed at me for 5 minutes about how I didn't deserve to be a mother and she should be the one pregnant right now. My parents left with her soon after, and the party was basically over. I was really disturbed by my sister's reaction because we had been pretty close before and she had never done anything like this. Kay called me the next day, apologizing for how she acted at my announcement and asked if we could meet up for coffee. So I accepted. We met up and she pretended as if nothing had happened. Then she started a big speech on her infertility, how heartbreaking it is to be growing life inside of her just to lose it, and how she always wanted children of her own. She then proceeds to ask me if I consider getting an abortion to make things fair, or letting her adopt my baby. I stared at her and asked if she was serious. Kay said she was. I just dropped my part of the bill on the table and I left. Later, Elle, Kay's partner, texted me on a rant that night about how I'd made Kay cry and how all they wanted was to be parents and that this meant so much to them and I owed them for being more successful than them. I and my partner invested many years into our jobs and we have worked very hard to earn what we earn now. I told them that my partner and I had been hoping for kids too, and I was not giving up my baby. She later sent me a long 4-page letter about how she had always wanted to be a mother, and could I consider either getting an abortion or letting her adopt my baby, how I should care about my older sister's happiness, and how she would make a better mom, how the oldest kid should always have the first grandchild, and how I could always just have another baby since it was so easy for me to conceive. After that, she quieted down some, and I thought we were done with this, except it wasn't. She had posted my sonograms on her Facebook and captioned it, "Elle and I are expecting. Can't wait to meet our little princess." I was seeing red. I texted her and demanded she takes the post down. No reply. So I texted Elle. No reply. So I called my mother and I told her what happened. She was able to make Kay take the post down, luckily enough. Kay has called me petty for calling my mom and has continued to demand that I give up my baby. I sent her a letter explaining that I had enough of her nonsense. I am keeping my baby and that I recommend she get some help. I added that if she continues, I will not hesitate to call 999. This weekend, however, was the absolute last straw. My mom and dad have the spare key to my house, and while she was over at their house for brunch, she took the key. While my partner and I were at work, she broke into our house and stole all of the clothing, blankets, nappies, bottles, and pretty much any other item we had bought for the baby, except furniture. It was later returned after my mom found it in her car. I called 999, but they told me I couldn't do anything because I had no proof and because it was all returned. My partner and I are moving in April, but I'm so scared my sister will find out where we live and take my child. I get that she's upset and jealous due to her infertility, but that shouldn't mean I have to give up my baby. My parents know about this, and they have been doing their best to get her some help. She doesn't want to adopt because she wants a child that's her own flesh and blood. I'm due in August, and the stress she's causing cannot and will not be good for me or the baby. My partner is looking to a cease and desist letter. Is there anything else I should do or say? I am scared for my baby.
I think this is the wildest story we've told on this podcast.
Yeah, I like, what do you mean there's no proof? My mom found it in her car. That's proof. My mom testifies. Like, come on. But this is like, you broke into my house and stole my stuff. She's right. Like, what if she breaks in and tries to steal the baby at some point? This is like, I want to move. I want full security cameras. And I honestly don't even want to tell my parents where I'm going to move to. Actually. Because they talk to her.
Yeah.
I would like want to, no matter even if you get a restraining order, that's not going to stop her. No. That wouldn't actually stop her from physically doing it. She has a mental illness. I think so.
Oh my God. This is so scary.
I don't understand. Why does she need an abortion or give the baby up? Like, what? So what, if I don't give the baby to you, I have to get an abortion? Like, what the fuck?
Oh my God. I have no words. I don't even know what to say here. Like, this is so truly insane, beyond comprehension.
I'm distraught just thinking of it. So top comment. Your sister is mentally ill and needs help. I don't say that as a joke or to insult her. She's sick and dangerous. Honestly, I think your fears are well-founded. I would block her on everything and give your parents very strict orders that if you find out they've given her access to any info about your living situation or pregnancy, that you will be forced to cut them all off for your safety. I'd also talk to a lawyer to see if there's anything you can do to protect yourselves. In the US, you can get a restraining order so that that person will be arrested if they come near you. Last, though, would be to make sure you have cameras recording your new place. Yeah, all of that. Get the restraining order. Just do the process of the legal stuff. So if anything happens, like, yes, but that's not going to actually stop her from physically doing it. So move. Don't let her know where you are. Do not give your parents a key to the house. Try to tell your parents that they not to share that information with them. And if they do, they're cut off. And get security cameras at your house.
What if your parents do let it slip and then she's gonna have to move again?
I would move again. It would suck, but I would do that. Yeah. I would absolutely move again. I would keep on moving. I just
feel like the safer bet is to just not tell the parents. Like, I feel like they would understand. I would hope.
You think?
No, probably not.
I don't think so. I feel like they would want to know where you live. And like, what you didn't do? Never invite your parents over to your house to see the grandchild? Like, they would probably...
I don't know. Desperate times. Like,
yeah, but they would... I feel like first step, you would try to put faith in your parents to...
It's just a big risk.
It is a risk, but what are you going to do? Not have your parents around? I feel like if your mom is more on your side, if your parents are showing that they're on your sister's side and not on your side, that, I don't know.
Yeah.
So there's an update. The support I've received from this website is overwhelming. Thank you all for your comments, although I couldn't reply to all of them. They are appreciated. I have had the locks changed, cameras installed, and a Ring doorbell. I've started saving every letter and screenshotting every message my sister has sent and plan to take them to court for a restraining order very soon. We have also been seriously documenting everything. My husband and I are planning a trip to Ireland for our anniversary next week. It's going to be good to clear our heads from my sister. I've called 999 to report her for harassment, and they gave her a warning. She's contacted me saying that if I won't give her my child, I can at least pay for multiple rounds of IVF, which I have not replied to other than refusing. She's been begging my parents to convince me to give up my baby, which they refuse to do. They have also been given a statement that basically says that if they give her my contact info, they will not see my baby, to which they have agreed. I've since changed my phone number and we are moving very soon. My sister does not know our new address. She actually stood on our stoop for 20 minutes a few days ago, banging on our door and yelling. My husband opened a window and told her that if she didn't leave, he would let the dog out, and threatened to call the police. We have a rather small but hyper puppy who jumps on everyone and barks a lot, and she is quite scared of dogs, actually. So this made her leave. I started working from home last week, as did my husband, and we followed the advice of one of the commenters and washed all of the baby stuff, as well as to make sure none of the food in our kitchen was messed with. None was, luckily. We're planning on getting a restraining order as soon as possible, and we are looking forward to our trip. I'm already sick of being pregnant, and I'm not even in the 3rd trimester. I just want my baby. Thank you all again for your wonderful advice, and I may update you again when the baby is born. There was no further update. Oh my God.
That's crazy.
That's freaking insanity. I think that sister's Delulu?
Yes. I think she's mentally ill.
What if she has a brain tumor?
It's possible.
It's growing. I feel bad after that last story. It was funny from the first story that you read with it. It didn't feel funny there.
Yeah. I'm worried for OP. I would be like constantly looking over my shoulder, honestly.
It'd take a while.
What a life.
It would take a while to get rid of that feeling of constantly looking over your shoulder.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Yep.
I think this one's going to be my last story, so I'm going to read the mom's POV of the Am I the Asshole for Telling My Daughter I Won't Budge Even If She Never Speaks to Me Again. So This is a car story from episode 53?
53, yeah.
All right. So the mom's POV is titled, Am I the asshole for telling my husband we need to suck it up and buy our daughter a new car? So I actually haven't read this one yet, so you're getting a live reaction from me. I, 39 female, and my husband, 43 male, have 2 daughters, 16 who we'll call Alana, and 17 who we'll call Casey. Casey has held down a steady job for over a year now and was able to get herself a car. Now she got this car right as Alana passed her own driver's test. So there was a little issues between who was going to be driving. After a little persuasion, Casey did allow Alana to use her car so long as somebody else paid for gas. We told her that wasn't going to cut it. Alana doesn't have the money for that, and it's her car, her responsibility to keep gas in it and keep it on the road. Here's where it gets difficult. Alana wrecked it about a month ago. Luckily, she was fine aside from a broken wrist and a mild concussion, but Casey was fuming the entire time and seemed to have this expectation that we would be replacing her car. Her and my husband got into it, and she threw her arms up like a child and just stopped speaking to us. We coaxed her into going to family therapy with us, though it wasn't productive, as she and the therapist agreed that it'd be best to maintain the reduced contact until she's paid back. Here's the problem. That car was $15,000. She saved up every penny for a year for that car. She'd asked us about twice a week if we changed our minds, and obviously the answer was no. But that was the only thing she'd say to us. It didn't seem to bother my husband, and he kept saying she'll get over it. Until last week, she packed some things and had my mother come and get her. She's been staying at her grandmother's for a little over a week now, and she gave me a good earful. Whatever Casey told her worked, because earlier today, my husband and I were informed that we had 30 days to replace the car in full, or she was taking us to court. A slay. Honestly, I'm so proud. I think my husband is admirable in wanting to stand his ground, but the way I'm looking at it, we have two options. And I am sick of my daughter not talking to me because of shit that is not my fault. Alana has been a wreck. She is already battling severe ADHD, and now she's shaking at the thought of having to appear in court. So I sat them both down and said we have two options. We can suck it up, pay $15,000 to have her daughter and sister back, and Alana will have to buck up and work. Or we can let my dad sue my husband and I on Casey's behalf and almost certainly lose. We spoke to 4 different firms, and all 4 echoed similar sentiment, that it would probably cost us close to triple in the end to bring it to court and fight it there. So that's when I told my husband that I am not going $30,000 further into debt for him to hold the pettiest grudge. He's saying that I am being manipulative by holding this whole situation over his and Alana's head. I'm not saying it's not part my fault. All I said was that no matter what, at the end of the day, we owe Casey, and he needs to just accept that. We can afford $15,000 to replace the car, but if we had to dish out double that just to lose in court anyway, I'm divorcing him before he makes that mistake. In either case, I'm done not supporting both my daughters. We've tried reasoning with Casey, and it has resulted in nothing. We lost this one. Am I the asshole for trying to get my husband to accept it? I feel I may be, just for how long I was being a passenger, no pun intended, in this situation, and for threatening my husband with divorce. I don't think we did anything that wrong, but I'm willing to admit when we made some mistakes, and we have to make up for it somehow.
Damn. Okay, the biggest thing for me in this is that she says we can afford the $15,000 to replace the car.
He said that they couldn't.
He said that they couldn't. And I was like, okay, like if you really can't afford to replace it, then what can you do? So you need to get a job, work it back. But if you can't afford as a parent to replace it, I think you do kind of have the obligation to replace the car when
100%.
your other child broke it, especially when she saved up $15,000 of her own money.
She worked hard for this.
Worked hard for it.
Oh my God. Okay.
But
you're not the asshole for, what was the title? For telling your husband that you need to suck it up. You're the asshole for being shit parents, honestly, to Casey.
I agree with that. There was a part of this in the beginning. She says, after a little persuasion, Casey did allow Alana to use a car. Where did this persuasion come from? Because this is where I meant where, like, if Alana did all the persuasion to let Casey use her car, where there's, like, that's the assumed risk of that. But if the persuasion came from the parents to let Casey allow Alana to use the car, which it sounds more like they persuaded Alana because for it, then the parents absolutely have the obligation to do that.
I think regardless, they do. Regardless of how it came about. It's on the parents to replace it. Oh my gosh. This is like a totally different story. from the husbands.
Yeah.
Some relevant comments say that OP and her husband need to get Alana to pay Casey back for damaging her car.
I do agree with that. You're driving the car. It's your responsibility.
OP replies, what is she supposed to do? Magically come up with thousands of dollars to pay my oldest back? It's not a matter of wanting to hold people accountable. It's simply not realistic. I also want to state on record, I was very against Casey getting a car that nice as her first. She never listened. Insurance would have likely paid for some of it if she would have just put her sister as an approved driver on the plan. It would not have been difficult. But no, it's not Alana's fault that she has ADHD. It's not like she wrecked on purpose. That's not the point.
I'm so confused here, though. Did her ADHD make her wreck the car? I'm very confused on that. But the also part is I don't understand is like insurance like it would have paid for some. Like, so you didn't get the insurance payout if her sister was an approved driver. Why are you as a parent letting your child drive a vehicle that she's not on the insurance for?
Literally. Like, this is...
And
Bro, these parents suck.
I also don't understand as well. Maybe insurance in the States is different from Canada. But if that was me living at home, there would have to have been something signed by the other people in the household saying that they would not drive my car, or they would have to prove that they have their own insurance and they would be covered by their own insurance even if they're driving other people's car. And even if I let a friend drive my car, my insurance still covers them in the fact of an accident. So I'm very confused. It sounds like she was not allowed to be driving the car, and she was driving the car, and that's why insurance didn't pay out.
Yeah. I think you're right. Another commenter says, Casey saved up $15,000 and didn't pay $300 a month to get insurance? Nope. Sounds like Alana wrote this and doesn't know how insurance works. Alana, pay for the gas if you drive the car.
That was another thing. At the beginning, she said... After a little persuasion, she said that Alana could use it as long as somebody else paid for the gas.
And the parents said no.
That wasn't going to cut it. So you basically said that Alana has to make sure that the car has gas for Casey to drive wherever she wants. That is terrible parenting. Whoever's driving the car should be paying for the gas that they're using. If you borrow my car, I expect you to stop at the gas station before you come back and put in $5, $10, $30, however much gas you use, put the needle back in the same spot like it's a rental car. Like, that was like, oh no, not only did Casey save up all of her money, but you also have to figure out to keep the gas in the car for your younger sister to drive.
I hate these parents. Oh my gosh. OP replies to that. She had insurance, but they really screwed us over because Casey didn't approve Alana as a driver on the plan. That was a big determining factor in us deciding to hold firm. If Alana would have been approved on the plan, we would have covered the remainder on what the insurance was offering. But this is the result of Casey's decision. Hence, I agreed with my husband that it's fully her responsibility. I just didn't expect her to sue us out of nowhere like this. And I especially didn't expect my parents to be enabling this behavior. What's in her best interest might suck now, but she'll learn from it in the future. My husband's been fuming for weeks over this, and a lot of you are saying he even made a post. But if they ruled not the asshole, then he wasn't telling the full story. Alana broke her arm in the wreck, and all Casey has cared about the past month is her car. That's the genesis behind the family therapy, and I'm very concerned that so many people are supporting her entitled behavior. Because you're wrong.
Yeah, I think you're wrong. Like, I can understand as a parent being like your kid is more concerned with their car over their sister, but her sister in her eyes is fine. Yeah, she has a broken wrist, and a concussion, whatever.
She's fine.
She's fine.
She's gonna live.
She just lost her $15,000 car, which doesn't really matter the price tag on this car. Like, it could be a $4,000 car, a $15,000 car, a $30,000 car. But to her, this is a car that she's saved up her money for a year plus to be able to afford. However much money she was able to save up is irrelevant. Her hard work of a year plus paid for this car, which is now gone because you convinced her to allow Alana to drive the car. So in her eyes, she sees it as your guys' fault for this. And she's like, I agree with my husband that it's her responsibility because she didn't put Alana as a driver on the plan. Why didn't she put Alana as a driver on the plan? Did you guys let her know that she needed to do that and help her through the steps of doing that since she's a child. This is her first car. You're a freaking parent. It's your job to make sure that she's fully insured and everything's good to go. It's your responsibility to make sure that Alana's driving a car that she's insured to drive.
With, yes.
It seems like you knew that she wasn't on the insurance.
This is, oh my God. We've heard some bad parenting on this podcast, but like this takes the cake. This is insane.
Yeah.
Another comment says, OP is blaming her parents for enabling Casey into suing OP and her husband. OP replies, I'm not absolving them of blame either. They're the ones enabling Casey in all of this. Are you forgetting that this is my mom and dad suing on her behalf? You're nuts if you think they won't be hearing from me. Results be damned. I've been getting angry telephone calls for a week over this shitstorm. Somebody has to answer for that. Even her uncles are on her side of this. And the in-laws haven't said a word. I don't know what's happening on that side.
Are they enabling her or are they actually supporting her and backing her up because you guys are being terrible parents?
There's another relevant comment on what OP and her husband do for Casey. OP replies, we feed her, we clothe her, we're going to send her to college. She has a place to park that car because of us. And oh, by the way, my husband got under there and fixed a tie rod about a month after she got it. For all you saying about how awful he is. He's not. He loves Casey. We both do. But I didn't see her putting that car up in the air to redo the brakes and fix the AC when she hit a deer. And that was all her father. I figured that allowing her sister to also drive their car was more than fair ask for all he did, and is a big reason why I supported him. I just hate that I apparently can't support him and love my daughters. If that's the resolution you all want, forget it. Casey is gonna take this to court, and then when she loses, she's going to throw another fit. But that's better than dishing out $15,000 for a car we're not even going to drive. It's not lost on me that we owe her. We just don't owe her that much. She'll come around when she realizes how the world works. So wait, she's not taking her to court?
No, she's saying that she is. Now she's saying that she wants to go to court. I'm like, OP is all, the mom on this is all over the place. She's being super
petty. It's literally out of spite.
So because you as a father helped your daughter with repairs to her car, that means because you forced her sister to drive the car that you don't have to help replace the car at all? Okay.
This is crazy. Okay, there's a final update. 3 weeks later. It's been a few weeks since I last updated, and I want to start out by addressing a few things that opened my eyes a little bit in regards to the situation. The first thing being my husband's post, which came well before my own. He and I fought over that. I truthfully don't love that he used real names. However, when I found out he posted for the sake of transparency, I used real names as well. But with that being said, I went through with the difficult decision to serve him divorce papers.
Wait, what? How did we get here?
I'm fucking done. What? I'm getting whiplash now. What is happening?
What?
To really abbreviate things, I went to therapy, as lots of you suggested, and was assessed with a diagnosis for an obsessive-compulsive disorder in my second session. And in my third session, we discussed the whole car situation, and my personal therapist explained it to me in a way that made it hard to not feel awful for Case. The discussion we had covered quite a lot, but the common denominator in everything that's been going wrong has, in large part, been my husband. He's the reason Casey shared her car, he's the reason Alana got hurt driving on her own, and he's the reason we're set for court in barely a week and still don't have an attorney. And me, I don't know what I've been doing, but it hasn't been being a mother, if I'm honest. One of you asked me straight up why I was being a passenger, and I just don't have a good answer. I let my parents know about the divorce, and they were a little concerned, but what I didn't expect was for Casey to reach out. The last time we talked was mostly her and my husband butting heads. I really thought she was about to turn me on a spit, but I've never heard her cry like that, at least not since she was much younger. I make a little bit more than my husband, but finding an apartment was brutal, especially with Alana wanting to come with me. I don't think I was clear enough about how badly I want to pay Casey back before. But I do. Most of my money is in a joint savings though, so there isn't much I can afford, but my husband wasn't going to back down. I won't lie, I was selfish. I begged Casey to drop my name from the suit. I told her I would pay what I could afford right this second, which wasn't much in comparison, and she told me that it wasn't so much the car or the value on its own she wanted back. It was the security to have something of her own, and she listed off probably dozens of instances where Alana got first pick over her, and it was very hard to refute. Yes, this all makes sense. She told me that losing that much money sucked, which I fully understand, but the bigger loss to her was that her first big girl purchase, which a lot of her friends and family were excited about, was now going to be remembered as family-ending disaster. She told me that she knows I can't replace that. We agreed to breakfast next week in joint therapy, us two, and her only condition was that I don't try at any point to save him from the suit, which I agreed to. Alana came to me even before my last post, saying she only drove so far because my now ex-husband pressured her into picking up the grocery order early for something he wanted to make. This also changed my perspective. I was under the impression that she was doing her own thing, but even my husband owned up to that, which ground my gears, but I put it together. A legal driver in an expensive car, not insured and under pressure. Alana drove, but I've come to realize that my ex-husband seems to have a tendency to like to pressure people. He's pressured me a lot too. He probably pressured Casey into letting Alana drive at all, which brings me back to her, and we finished our talk with better terms. I owe her so much more than breakfast out, but I'm just beyond grateful she's even willing to look at me. I've seen a lot of bold assumptions that I hate Casey and that I vastly favor Alana, but I only feel the second part was ever accurate. I've never hated my own daughter. I was frustrated with her over something I've come to realize wasn't her fault. As of now, I'm just adjusting to a much quieter place and to my phone buzzing nonstop. I've only been moved out for 5 days and Alana has seemed so much less anxious, to me at least. It's odd because my place now isn't anywhere near what the house is, but I think last night was probably the first time I've slept 8 hours since high school. Today was productive, and for Casey, I'll admit it, I hope she wins. I hope she gets her car and then some. As for the divorce, I don't want much material. I won't say no to it. I'd rather just have my share of joint savings and try to tackle my own issues, of which I guess I have more than I would have been willing to admit a month ago. I know I'm going to get pelted most likely, but I want you to know that I'm thankful. The internet is mean, but it tells the truth, and however this turns out, it's largely your comments that helped me see what I was doing wrong and who was enabling those things, and most importantly, how I could stop it. It's times like this where my dad would tell me I'm not lucky, I'm privileged, and I think that applies here. I'm privileged that my daughter didn't just laugh, even though she could and arguably should have. That's the update. I'll update whenever Case and I meet, barring she's comfortable with it, and then you probably won't hear from me until the whole suit and divorce is over and done with. I just want Reddit to know I hear you all, and I wish I could have seen reason when I first posted. I'm frustrated reading my own comments. Therapy is a powerful thing.
Yo, this is wild.
Oh my God.
I can't believe that if they can afford it, he's still willing to go to court to say that he shouldn't have to pay for the car. It's like, do you never want a relationship with your daughter again? Like, for the greater good, even if you don't think so, you pressured her into letting the other sibling drive. It was all your fault. You didn't help her get proper insurance as a parent should. Yeah. It is your responsibility. Just get her in a freaking car. And like I said in the last one, like, get her into a $4,000 car. Just get her own set of wheels and then work towards the expensiveness back.
He sounds like a hard-headed motherfucker.
Yeah.
He must be Calabres.
Sounds like she's realizing it too. The thing that I said, she's like, most of my money is in a joint savings though. That's all your money, girl. Like in a sense, like it's a joint savings. You guys can both take out as much money as you want. There's nothing stopping you. Your name is on the account. Now, you can take out the money, buy your daughter the car, whatever you want, and he would have to go through the divorce proceedings to fight to say that that was an unfair use of joint account funds. But it is your money to go in there and buy something for your daughter if that's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. I just like the turnaround time is just really crazy for me. 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
For her to do like a full 180.
Right? Damn.
This is crazy.
Yeah. The one of the commenters on that says, still, you're the asshole. You allowed it all to happen.
Yeah.
Your daughter bought the car and it was okay to let the other daughter drive it and not have to pay for gas. take some responsibility and realize you are a shit parent.
No, honestly, I don't forgive her.
I think that's what she did, though.
I still don't forgive her, though. Like,
I think it's going to be a while until Casey forgives her, too. I cannot get over that. Oh, you have to make sure the gas tank is filled up for your...
That's crazy for your sister.
The sister. That's wild.
This was a wild ride.
That was intense.
That was intense. Wow, okay. Thank you to everyone who commented that there was the mom's POV out there, because I would have missed this.
Because of you guys, we found that.
Thank you all.
All right.
All right.
Damn.
That was good. Josie.
Got into life updates? Pillowcase giveaway? What should we do?
We should do the pillowcase giveaway and then life updates.
Okay.
Well, I can talk about life updates while you do that.
Okay.
On the weekend, I saw Taylor Swift.
Yeah, this is the first episode since.
Yes, I saw Taylor Swift. Oh my God. It was unreal. For those of you who listened to like our travel Italy episode back in the summer, you guys know like I had a great time at Taylor in Milan. But I think I told you, like, it was just so hot, and I, like, literally had a panic attack because I felt so faint the entire night. So it was a different experience. So here in Toronto, obviously, it's colder, and we had the dome that was closed. I had a much better experience this time. I was dancing, I was singing, I didn't even have to go to the bathroom. I precisely timed my bathroom break right before, during Gracie, unfortunately, which she was amazing. But I made it so that I didn't have to go during the whole 3.5 hour set. And I'm so proud of myself. And it was just amazing. It was so surreal. We got the best surprise songs ever. I literally asked, my friend literally asked me a week before, like, what is your ideal surprise songs? And guess what I said, guys? I said Cassandra and Mad Woman. And guess what Miss Girl did? Cassandra and Mad Woman, and I did something bad. Nobody saw that coming. It was 7 minutes long on the piano. It was truly, I don't know how to explain it, but it was just so surreal. I said on our Patreon, like, I don't know if I will ever be that happy again. It was just like a feeling that will be unmatched for me forever. And I don't know if I should be happy that it happened or sad that it's over. Like, I have so many conflicting feelings, and it was just such an amazing experience. And
it's all she's talked about for the last week. Half a week. No, week.
Yeah.
Pretty much a week.
We're filming. Okay, sorry.
This is a Thursday after.
We're filming kind of early on. Like, by the time this releases, it's December 10th. But we are bulking up for Christmas because we want to take, a couple of weeks off, and not have to worry about the podcast and everything. Not that it's a chore. We love podcasting, but it's just, we want to relax and stuff. It's Christmas break. So,
yeah. So Teresa's dad came downtown to pick up her mom and sister after the concert, and he came over and we played Scrabble, and I lost.
Yes.
It was close though. I lost by like 11 points.
It?
11 points.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the next day we went to the Christmas market. No, that wasn't the next day.
No, the next day was Saturday.
Yeah.
Next day was Saturday, and we went to Hunter's Landing for breakfast.
Yes.
And
it was Taylor Swift themed, by the way.
It's Taylor Swift themed, and there was a baby at the table across from us, and I was like, what about Madison and Andrew are doing today? So I FaceTimed Madison, and she's like, well, I have to go to work to like meet a client for an airplane, but if you want to come over, like we can hang out and like dinner when I get home and stuff. And I was like, well, is Chris gonna be home? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So then we just drove there last minute.
To Waterloo.
To Waterloo.
Which is like an hour and 15-minute drive.
Yeah, because it had been like 2 weeks since we saw him, and we had a bag of Walmart stuff, a little Grinch outfit to give him since we'd seen him. So, and then I was like, well, we're not seeing him until December 6th, but the Christmas tree, that's going to be another 2 weeks. So I'm like, why don't we just see if they're doing it today? So we went, and it was great, and we hung out. We watched a Christmas movie while he was napping, and then I learned how to give him a bath. I gave him his first bath, or my first bath for him. and we put him in a little Grinch outfit.
Yeah.
It was great.
He's so adorable. Every time we see him, he just seems different. He looks different.
He's getting bigger.
He's getting more of a personality. He's like laughing. He's making so many noises.
Yeah, he
has this pterodactyl scream now. It's so cute.
He's starting to roll over.
Yeah. And then we're going to see him again next week. We're trimming a tree with them.
That should be exciting. Yeah.
I took the day off work for that.
We're having dinner, and Chris made us really good cook. He made us burgers, and he talked about how he goes to like a butcher shop to like get the hamburgers. And I was just like, man, that's bougie. Like when Teresa and I have burgers, it's the frozen burgers stuff, from the store. I've never ever gone to like a butcher shop and been like, yeah, I'll get the fresh hamburgers. I don't
even know where a butcher shop is.
No idea. Like, we need to look into this. I can't have normal burgers again.
I know.
I can't go back.
Yep.
And I was holding Andrew like the whole time. I was eating my dinner with like one hand because I was like holding him. It was great. I was getting that down.
Getting good at it.
I was getting good at it.
Yeah.
A little professional uncle over here.
Yeah.
So that was good. And then Sunday we went to St. Lawrence Market.
No, we went to the Distillery District.
That's what it is. The Distillery District.
Christmas market in Toronto.
Unj came back down.
My sister came with her boyfriend, and we had lots of great food. We had some Christmas poutine, some chocolate-covered strawberries, pierogies.
Yep.
We had a bunch of stuff.
I think the pierogies were my favorite one. They were the best.
Me too. Actually, no, the Christmas poutine was mine.
Barbecue chicken really on top of the... It didn't have that. Barbecue chicken on top of the pierogies. That was...
I'm hungry.
Was bomb. Of course you are.
It's 10 o'clock.
We just had dinner. We literally just ate 3 hours ago.
I know.
And then Teresa bought the world's best hot chocolate mix from the Distillery District. And we had that the other night, and it was so amazing, guys.
So I bought like this melting chocolate from Soma, which like Soma is like an expensive chocolate place here.
37 Canadian dollars for hot chocolate.
No, I bought other stuff.
Oh, okay.
The total was $37.
Oh, okay, yeah. I did find some
the hot chocolate was like $20.
Oh, okay.
And I bought it last year, I'm pretty sure. But I don't know if it was the chocolate or if I burned the milk. But I had it. It was just, I literally was hyping it up as I was making it. I was like, babe, we're never going to be able to have powdered hot chocolate ever again. This is going to be the best hot chocolate ever. It was so ass. It was so ass. Like
she put all these marshmallows and whipped cream on the top.
Yeah.
So you know
I made my own whipped cream.
You're getting that. Yeah, that was good. You're getting that in there. So the first little bit it was okay, but then once all that disappeared and just like the remaining bit of the hot chocolate was left, it started to get this like
it was so bad
taste, like no sugar in it or something.
No, but it was like not only like sugarless, it was just like I don't know. It tasted bad, and I'm starting to think it was like the almond milk. I don't know. It could have been. Because today I was eating the chocolate on its own, like with a spoon.
Yeah.
And it was delicious. It was sweet. So I don't know what the problem was, but maybe I'll try it again.
Maybe.
That's oh my God, my work found my podcast.
Oh, embarrassing.
If my manager is listening to this, why? Why are you listening? I told you not to.
Didn't I like tell them what the name of it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago?
Yes, but she forgot. And then she brought it up in a team meeting.
Oh.
She was like, oh my God, Teresa, isn't Factor a sponsor of yours? And I was like, oh my God. And everybody was like asking me questions. And I was like,
wait, was that what I overheard today? It was a whole team meeting, not a one-on-one?
Yesterday.
Oh, that was yesterday.
Meeting, the lunch team meeting.
So then people were talking about it today.
And I was like, well, so she forgot about the name. And then everybody was like, well, what is it? What is it? And I was like, I'm not going to say it. I was like, I don't want you guys looking it up. And then my buddy, like I was assigned a buddy when I first started. She found it like right away. I was like, how? Like, it's not associated with my name.
So how'd you find it?
I don't know how, but a lot of people found it.
Didn't you ask her how?
No. She just said I'm a professional stalker.
Oh.
So
okay.
I don't know how she found it because like I haven't posted it on my personal, like anything, my personal.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too hard. If you searched who you're following and you search podcast, it would pop up.
No, but my Instagram's private. My personal Instagram is private.
Denver and Teresa would probably pop up when you search
for you. Yeah, but Denver and Teresa doesn't come up with Teresa Opetisano.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I could be wrong. But anyways, so if any of my coworkers are listening, don't go any further.
Stop it. How dare you? But thank you for your support.
No. I had a meeting with my manager today. She was like, so if I told the whole team to like listen, so like our team of 12 to like listen to the podcast, like would it help you out? And I was like, we get around like over 200,000 downloads a month. So it's like,
it's a drop in the bucket.
It's a drop in the bucket, but I appreciate it. But please stay away. So yeah, that's my life update.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. What else? What we got? Yesterday, I had a surprise for Teresa.
Oh, yes. There's that update, too. Guys, Oh, my God. This is going to be like a 3-hour podcast.
We have a lot of updates since... it's been a busy weekend since last...
Yeah, it has.
When we filmed last Thursday. It's been a busy week.
Yeah.
It's been a busy week. So, after the Taylor Swift concert, Teresa has been texting her friend, is Shay, which is Chris's brother's wife.
Yes.
So close friends.
Chris's sister-in-law then.
Yeah, Chris's sister-in-law. She's married to Mark, which is Chris's brother. I lived with Mark for like a month when I first moved downtown Toronto before Teresa and I moved in together. So, and we see him at the family functions and stuff. So Teresa and Shay have been Swiftie friends. And they've been talking about the concert and all of this stuff. And I was
She was the one who asked me what my ideal surprise songs were. And I said Cassandra Madwoman.
Exactly. So I was like, well, I should get them together at like a Swiftie event so then they can debrief in person and like hang out and stuff. So then I searched Taylor Swift trivia in Toronto and I found one. So I sent it to Mark and I was like, hey, like, would you want to surprise Shay? Like, can meet up and the girls, you know, they can fangirl over Swiftie stuff and it'll be a good time. And it was at like Grace O'Malley's, which is like a pub downtown Toronto.
Yep.
We had been there before for like Teresa's birthday for our first year that we were together.
First year I was legal.
It was so terrible. We sat out in the line for 40 minutes in the snow. We were freezing. We got in there. Music was blaring. There's so many people.
I think I legitimately got frostbite that night.
Yeah, that was...
Because I was literally naked outside. I was 19.
I gave you my jacket.
Yeah,
and I was just in like a dress shirt, no jacket. Yeah, that was rough. So rough. We go back there, but Teresa doesn't know. I'm like, Teresa, I have a surprise for you Wednesday night. This is like Sunday, I told you or something. Mark's like, yeah, let's do it. So I'm like, okay, Teresa, I got a surprise for you. Wednesday night, we're going to go out for dinner. She's like, okay, what is it? And then, she does her thing. Like, what is it? Guessing this, guessing that. And I don't tell her. And she's like, is it Taylor Swift themed? Is it Christmas themed? I'm like, no. I thought it was Taylor Swift trivia. And the day, Wednesday, Mark texts me. He's like, hey, man, I don't think this is actually Taylor Swift trivia. I'm like, no, what do you mean? And I rechecked the link that I sent him. And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm not finding Taylor Swift in the theme anywhere. And I'm like, why did I think that this is Taylor Swift? The company that's putting it on had promotions for Taylor Swift tickets if you had gone to their trivia before November 1st. So I'm like,
November 1st.
Yeah, that's when they're
November 1st?
Yeah, that's when they're giving you the tickets. So I'm like, why is November 27th? This is still in the search results. It was misleading. I got misled. So then I had to go to like their Instagram to figure out what the actual topic was. And I'm like, well, it says pop culture. I guess that will be whatever. Girls will still get together. Like I've already told Teresa, the girls can debrief and we'll play a little bit trivia. No, it won't be as good as Taylor Swift trivia, but it'll be all right. We'll still have a fun time.
No, it was still a lot of fun. And Shay and I got to debrief all the Taylor Swift, the Toronto nights and everything. And it was awesome. It was still a lot of fun. It was the thought that counts.
The thought that counts, right?
Good job.
The funniest part though is we walked there. And on the way there, Teresa still has no idea. So she's guessing. We're going up to the Tower restaurant. We're going here. We're going there.
He would walk up to the steps of a restaurant or a theater, and he was like, "Okay, this is it." And I'm like, "Oh, I got so excited." I was like, "We're watching The Lion King at the freaking theater at the," and I was like, "Oh, so exciting, so fun! I wouldn't think you to like book a show." And then he would walk right out.
I got to the point. It's like 4 times. Teresa's done. She's done is whatever. And we go around the Hooters area. She's like, "You're not taking us back to Hooters again, are you?" Because on my last date night, I took us to Hooters in a comedy club. It was kind of funny for like wigs. And I was like, "Well, you sound really disappointed there."
Yeah.
But then we're walking, and then we see Grace O'Malley's, and we're like, "Oh, that's where we frozen stuff. That's where the pub is." And I start walking up, and Teresa stands back.
I'm like, "This isn't it. Like, you wouldn't just take me to a pub."
And I'm like, no. This is it. She's like, wait, what? Why is this it? Why is this it? I am so confused. We walk in. I'm like, yep, have a reservation for Denver, table for 4. And she's like, table for 4? What are we doing here? And why is there a table for 4?
And I started getting mad.
Yeah.
I was like, I have social anxiety. I need to like mentally prepare if we're going out with other people. Like, I don't think you understand. It is a mental preparation that I need, because in my head we were going on a date night and he said table for 4 and I'm like, I wasn't ready for that. And I'm looking around, nobody's wearing a Christmas sweater and no one's wearing a Taylor Swift anything. So I'm like, what is going on? Is this our idea of a date night with another couple? Like, I was just so confused and slightly upset.
A little bit. She's trying to hold it in, not show it. And then right before they got there, I had to blow my nose. I had to go find the washroom. I was gone for like 5 minutes.
I was like, where the heck?
I came back.
I was so mad.
Yeah.
You're just going to leave me here? Like, with table? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I have anxiety.
So I'm like, just keep looking out the front door. When they get here, you'll know. She's like, who the frick is it?
I was like, it better be Kat or Madison, because anyone else, like, I'm going to be mad.
I pull my phone and I show her. I'm like, their locations are pretty far away. And then Mark and Shay arrive.
Yeah.
And then
I wasn't expecting them.
Yeah. And then Shay wasn't expecting us either.
Yeah.
And that was funny.
Surprise for her too.
Yeah. And we had a great night.
It was fun.
It was fun. We had some dinner, some nachos, and some drinks. It was a little bit loud.
Really loud.
It was we were like, my voice was starting at the end. We were basically yelling just to hear the people on the other side of us. So yeah. I would do it again in a quieter place. Next time I got to try to find a trivia that is quieter.
Yeah.
So yeah. But then that was, you enjoy that? You surprise for me?
It was very fun. Thanks,
Thought
honey.
that counts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right. Now we've blabbed on enough. Let's give you guys a pillowcase.
Let's get to the pillowcase winner. Here we go. Teresa will read it out for us.
So this is from episode 52?
Episode 52. Like all the other times, I take all the comments, I put them into this website, and then it's just going to pick a random commenter.
Perfect. Good luck. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Emma Patel, 2146. Congratulations.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Woo, Denver will be messaging you.
We'll get your shipping info and we'll send you out that pillowcase. If you guys want a chance to win the pillowcase, just drop the comment down on this video, and in 3 episodes, we'll declare the winner for it. So all you have to do is come over to YouTube, drop the comment down below so that it can be picked up on this YouTube random generator. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and smash the like button, help the algorithm out.
Of course, of course.
Drop a comment if you're listening on Spotify. We appreciate you guys for coming along for the journey. Don't forget, we do have bonus episodes every Friday on Patreon. So if you need more stories, more of Denver and Teresa, please, we appreciate all your support on Patreon. What was your last story? You had one left over that you're going to read on Patreon?
I have 2 left over.
Give us the titles. Give a little teaser for what the people know what they're getting into when they come over to Patreon.
All right. It is... Am I the asshole for refusing to provide a reference for my sister-in-law who is always being nasty towards me?
Ooh.
And am I wrong for telling my sister she's not getting a penny of our grandfather's inheritance?
Ooh, that'll be good. That's going to be good.
Yep.
That's going to be on Patreon episode 29. So when you guys come over there, there's 29 episodes that you can binge. That's a lot of stories. Lots and lots of stories. That is a lot. So, yeah, we appreciate all of your support.
Thank you guys so much for your support. If you made it this far, you're a real one.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next Tuesday. We'll see you next week. Next week is our Christmas episode.
Is it? Okay.
Right?
I think so. I
think
don't
so.
know.
We'll
is that
see.
what we're doing?
I think so.
Maybe, maybe not.
I think so.
I think so.
TBD.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see you next week anyways.
Start singing.
What do you want me to sing?
Anything. Give them an outro.
They say you did something bad. It wasn't feel so good. Say you did something bad. It wasn't feel so good. Okay, bye.
Okay.
Bye. And you want to scream, don't call me kid.